I know I'm back on here real quick, just like that. So I want to welcome everybody back to Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am Kiki. I am the host of your show, of my show. Well, I guess it's our show. And again, what I talk about are things that impact our repatriation journey for those who want to repatriate and for those who want to visit. Some of us just want to visit. So I talk about the things that impact you visiting. So here lately, I've been talking about these women who have we found to be unalived in West Africa. So far, the Gambia is the West African country that I've researched that has the most Black women who have been unalived to date. Okay, well, that's the ones that we know about because again, these um, these incidents aren't reported. There's a whole database where you're supposed to report where foreigners pass away in your country. But if you go look in that database, you won't see any foreign, maybe one or two. I'm not going to say any, but you'll see maybe one or two. And these were years ago in the Gambia, in Senegal, anywhere I looked in West Africa besides Nigeria. Nigeria had a whole bunch of people who had passed away, but the other countries, no. And we know that's not true because we know in less than a year, 6 women have passed away in the Gambia. We know that. We know Danita has passed away in Nigeria. We know Latricia has passed away in the Ivory Coast, but nothing. You look on their databases for deaths that were reported. For foreigners, you'll see none of these women's name on there. None. So that's why we have to have channels like mine where we tell the truth about what's going on in West Africa. And like I say, it's not that I don't want you to go to West Africa because I do, because I go all the time. Like I said, I've been there 12 times and I plan on going back. So my goal is not to stop you from going to West Africa. That is nowhere near my goal. All right. My goal is to keep you safe while you go there, to educate you. So when you go there, you can be safe while you go there. That's the goal. All right. So today, unfortunately, we've been talking about Shakina. Unfortunately, Shakina lost her life in the Gambia on, I guess it was the 16th. We don't know the exact date, but this one it was reported that she lost her life on the 16th of February. Okay. As I told everybody, I had the pleasure of meeting Shakina, sitting down, talking with Shakina, had the time to pick Shakina's brain to see exactly where she was at and what she was thinking. So I was really shocked once again when I found out that Shakina was not only missing, but she had indeed passed, and the way that she passed. So the people who weren't here yesterday, we found out that not only had was she missing, but they had found her and she was in a suckaway pit. Okay, a suckaway pit. She had dirt thrown on her, and her face was smashed in. Well, during the live stream last night, some people found out that they had indeed arrested someone for this crime in the Gambia. Okay, and that's what I wanted to come back and talk about today. I had planned on talking about these scamming allegations, but there was so much when I went back through the comments. There was so much conversation about the arrest that I felt like we needed to talk about that because that seems like what people wanted to talk about. And it was especially there was a comment that the lady one I don't know if it was a lady, but someone said that they didn't feel like this was the person. So let me show you the comment. And when I saw that comment, I thought about the ladies. Oh wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Quasi is coming on here. I thought about the lady in hold on, y'all. Let me get Quasi up here, and then we'll go back to this. Okay. I thought about the ladies in Ghana, the sisters in Ghana. Quasi. I was just telling them that I was. Can you hear me? Okay, there you are. I was just telling them about the ladies in Ghana and how this story, the arrest, kind of reminds me of that because once they were arrested. They arrested a couple of people in Ghana. Can you hear me? Okay. They arrested a couple of people in Ghana with the Salter sisters,
I can
but
hear you. Yeah, it's just a little bit low.
the community believes that the people that they had arrested did not do that. Now, I had got a comment and it said the same thing, that they felt like the person that they had arrested was not the person who did it, that that was the person who was just a scapegoat. And I remember I had talked to you about that this morning and what was your input on all this. So I wanted you to come on here and just explain to us how what you felt about the arrest and what you feel about this situation with Shakina, because you and Shakina were such good friends.
Okay, the last time, I think it was the last time that you came, we actually went down and I introduced you to Shakina.
Mhm.
And as you know, Shakina lived, her office was right down the street from my property. Literally, when I left out of my property, when I got to the road, Shakina, her office was right there.
Mhm.
I met Shakina, about 4.5 years ago, and when I met her, this is before everybody, started, setting their sights on the Gambia. However, she was someone that struck me as someone that was really, really a true leader, and what she has shown herself to be, and someone who, had, just good intentions on, assisting our brothers and sisters back to the continent. Very, very sweet person. Um, and what we've seen, Shakina, like she said, she's been here coming back and forth 15, 16, 17 years, but she said she has never seen it the way that, how things have taken place over the last 3 years. Okay. It's obvious that there is a problem taking place. There's victimization taking place, amongst our people or and our sisters particularly that are coming over. And it just it is, and we've been speaking on it since Miss Beverly. Miss Beverly was the first person who passed, and Miss Beverly actually, she lived with me when she came over to get her start. She actually lived with me, so I know her very, very well. We sold her first land out in Jam and Jelly. So when she left, well, she did have a sickness, that she was dealing with. However, when she died, there was still, being that there's no autopsy done, it always leaves room for question.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Right.
then Audrey, shortly after that, Audrey passes away under, just unexpectedly. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then right after that, Veronica. And then we just had Mary. And then Aja, Africa.
Mhm.
And now this. I mean, it's just, it shows that there's a particular profile that is very vulnerable, and that's, if I had to, point it out, it would be, people who are single and by themselves. You know, if you're by yourself, it just kind of, we've already known through the many people. Could you hear me?
It broke up. We heard about we already known, and then it started to break up.
That many of our people here have been robbed. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Where they had their houses broken in. If it's just you by yourself and you leave out, then your house is vulnerable. Even if you're home and you're by yourself, you know, that makes you even more vulnerable. You home by yourself and someone try to break in, they might not think that you're there or not.
Right.
And we seen that in Veronica's case. It was a situation where, you know, her house was broken into.
Mhm. Twice.
When they found her, her door was open.
Mhm.
All the stuff that, will make a homicide detective, you know, raise his eyebrow.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then, you know, the situation with Shakina, and I would like to just give her family my condolences, because it's such a huge, huge tragedy to have a sister, leaving out of the West, coming to Africa for a
Mhm.
better life,
Right.
only to have to face this type of a tragedy. And you know, as far as the Gambia itself, I wouldn't even say that if my sister came here, I would I would feel comfortable letting her go out and explore. I don't think it's dangerous for us like that. But when we get into certain situations, it becomes dangerous for us. When we develop certain relationships, and then we don't want to create enemies for ourselves. So we're seeing a combination of a lot of things taking place here, but it's all happening with women who don't have, you know, uh, representation or someone to back them.
Right.
You know, even with me, I mean, I don't think I've ever been anywhere by myself. I don't do anything by myself. It's always two or three people. I never represent myself either. I let my Gambian family represent me in everything that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That way there won't be any feelings involved. How we do business and how they do business is different. How we react, how we respond to things is different. So
Right.
you want someone that's going to be able to respond in a way that's not going to be offensive. So what we've seen with Shakina's situation and what's coming out, and we want to just stick with the facts, is that she was at her property. The property was not it was being developed, so she was going to check on it.
Okay.
And Shakina told me that her property down there had been her solar panels were stolen from there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that is to say that when she went down to her property, whoever was there, sh- whoever she went to meet there, whoever was working there, they said it was somebody that was working with her and been working with her for a while.
Right.
That's where all the evidence is pointing towards.
Mm-hmm.
It was a feud, a disagreement, or a happening between somebody that she know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So all of the details are coming out now and things like that. But this is the thing, when I always seen Shakina, she was always by herself. She was always by herself. And, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that, because, Shakina was, she was a very petite lady, a very small lady,
Mm-hmm.
and to think that someone in their prime, attacked that sister like that, it really hurts.
Now I have a question. So
Hmm.
yesterday we were some people. It was someone on here called Gambian Global TV. He seemed to think, and also Afrodamus, which is another YouTube content creator. They seem to think, and I agree with Afrodamus that it was some foreigner, okay, like one of the foreigners who maybe one of the foreigners had got mad at her and paid someone to do something to her. Okay. Now,
Uh-huh.
do you think that was a possibility also, or you think that was not a possibility in this situation at all?
Well, based on what I've seen here, and based on what I'm hearing, I'm gonna go with what I'm hearing is that it was something that took place with somebody that she know and that she's familiar with. All the details haven't come out. I don't know.
Mhm.
People are alluding towards her and some dealings with land. I think that's stretching it. However, the community here is definitely has been divided to a point. We've seen it, and you've covered it. Where everybody here was pretty much attacked, and including Shakina. You know what I mean? And all of this attack had came from someone that was here, claiming to be a Pan Africanist, someone that was a part of the movement. Actually brought in agents and individuals to tarnish the reputation of people that was here. To bring about divide in the community.
Mhm.
And I think that that had opened up a lot of doors for other exploitation of us as a community, because we saw immediate after that a lot of people were taken advantage of, with regards for real estate,
Okay.
rental properties, getting businesses being overcharged. A lot of people, just went off and they wanted to deal directly and try to paved their own way, and they end up getting the short end of the stick on that.
So that's another thing that they can that they continue to bring up was this these lands that she had scammed a lot of people, and that these people were actually out to get her. Okay, so what do you think about that theory? Do you think that was a possibility, or you think that was not a possibility at all?
Well, I'm familiar with the situation she had. She had an issue with a couple regarding
Right.
some land. Okay,
Hmm.
people have disputes and have issues with people, and all of that should be resolved in court. And I don't care what happened, what took place with the land. Is nothing justifies someone killing her.
Right.
It definitely doesn't warrant a conspiracy where you have people from overseas conspiring with people here on the ground to harm and maim and kill other repats. Is it possible? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think we've seen, yeah, we've witnessed a lot of just underhanded you know uh activity to like I said, tarnish the reputation, defame other people, and to bring a huge amount of a negative towards individuals who are the right people, who are good people who have good intentions. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think with that level of negative that we seen, I think all of this early on, when all of that negative came here, I was like, hey, things aren't going to turn out well,
Right.
because we're showing that we don't care about each other. So we don't even value each other as a community over here. So we're open for exploitation.
So when did you see this
Do
turn
whatever
happen?
you want to do to us.
So when the
What's
turn
that?
happened, so when did you see the turn? You said there was some negativity that came over there. So when the negativity came, was there ever any sense of unity over there? Was there ever any sense of
Any sense
people
of what?
working together? Was there ever any sense of people working together over there?
You
Can you
know,
hear me?
the the amongst our community, no. And I
Oh,
just have to be honest with everybody that's looking here and that's watching on, because I think everybody deserves to know exactly
wow.
what's going on, and they don't need to hear all the lies and all the fake bullshit. You know, when the first person who opened the door for diaspora to come over to Gambia, as far as YouTube is concerned, that was with Juliet.
Mhm.
And very early on, you know, most of the people that was here already knew that she wasn't really for the community. Just as she was really just about herself, as we've all seen, and that evolved. And then even during that time, we tried to reach out to other YouTubers here, and everybody just is stuck in this whole idea of just selfishness, uncompromising. Doing their own thing, just like Aja said in her video. She was like, when Audrey died and she went around and spoke to people about coming together, what did they say? Oh, I didn't know her.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's that attitude. Every man for themselves. Everybody's doing their own thing, and there's definitely no leadership here. So the only time that I saw that great potential existed within our community is when I started working with Art Kathy.
Mhm.
Art Kathy, she was someone who was just as big of a personality as Juliet. And however, unlike Juliet, Art Kathy allowed the resources to flow. That means, to create an economic program where we can have housing for, our people, which we were doing and we was executing very well. However, we seen how all of that turned out because of, the vision and,
Right.
individual brands.
So what I want to look at now.
So
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
so
Crazy.
I think, I mean, during the time when I had my situation,
Mhm.
there were so many people that were in the background creating, fanning the flames of this fire, that you can have somebody. I was threatened by people and things like that. I was like, oh my goodness. If you're sitting back and you're creating negative about somebody and you're saying somebody's a scammer, somebody did this, somebody did that, and then you're putting an excessive amount of energy into it, right?
Yeah.
And and then you hyping a person up. A person might have a misunderstanding as to what their contractual obligation was, or what a misunderstanding is, a business misunderstanding. But
Uh-huh.
you got third party instigators saying, "Hey, no, she scammed you. She shouldn't supposed to did this. She shouldn't have done that." And you egging these people on, and they feeling like somebody got over on them. Yeah, people will talk. Hey, this person ain't. They're not going to get away with this. I mean, I think that's just obvious as being humans, how we conspire and we scheme on one another. At the end of the day, we've seen too many deaths in such a short period of time,
Right.
and something have to happen. So the only thing I can do is just make people aware. It's not Gambia. Like in this situation, it was another African brother. Well, they're saying someone that was from a different nation.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Gambia is getting such a bad rap within our community. But
Hmm.
Gambia is not responsible for what we do as a community. If we're gonna have people that's gonna come over and that's gonna put themselves in harm's way, it's not overall, I think it's very peaceful, and I think it's an opportunity. Even the sisters that are single, I wouldn't say, hey, don't come over, but
Uh-huh.
when you come over, implement some type of buddy system. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Adopt a family or something like that. Just don't be on your own, or just be by yourself, and get into the whole idea of like dating and having different men, because we've even seen some of these repats. They're going out, they deal with these guys, then the guy breaks into their house, then it's all dramatic, and then they want to blame everybody but themselves.
Exactly. And that's so unfortunate. So I want to start with this. I want to show you this. This was on
Hmm.
Cartoon News Network. This is what we saw last night. This is when they announced the arrest. It says the suspect in the murder of Shakina Chinedu, a woman whose body was found in an incomplete compound after she was reported missing, has been arrested. Police say the suspect, who is between 20 and 30 years old, is cooperating as investigation continues. Okay. So this is what we received last night. This sounds, and then someone came on and said, let me go show you this one. After that, someone came on and said that they believed that this was not exactly the truth. It
Hmm.
might have been some of what happened, but there was more to it. Let me read you this one. So it says, suppose, okay, let me go. Apparently, there they have a low entity who was supposedly Nigerian. He's in the He's living in the Gambia. The Gambians live under the delusion, and they act like there aren't on this type of debauchery, robbing robbing her from 1,000 pounds. This sounds like scapegoating, because Shakina would not have seen this coming and definitely would have defended herself. She was set up, and this dude sounds like a fall guy. I am telling my sister to get. I'm telling my sister to get out of there ASAP. All right. So this lady, she feels like this dude, this workman dude, that this is just an excuse, just the fall guy, basically, just a scapegoat, just somebody so they can arrest somebody. This would be the end of it, and then that's just to close the case real quick, pretty much. So, tell us what you think about that. What's your opinion about that?
Well, like I said, we have to wait until more evidence and facts come out of the situation. Um, like I said, her being down there at her property, it would the murder would have to have opportunity. So like I said, she was. It sounds more like a dispute with someone as opposed to that means someone would have to get inside her personal network. Like if it's coming from outside and it's coming from someone being dissatisfied with her and wanting to set her up. It would have taken a lot of energy for them to get in her network and then kind of plan out where she was. I think it was it was just a crime of of the moment where she who this guy who she was working for. And it's always the people, man, that's closest to you. Like I know in The Usual Suspects, that movie, they told one of the detectives said, it's never a stranger. It's always the boyfriend
Right.
or the girlfriend or someone that's close to the person that killed them. It's never like a random person that just walked
Right.
up off the street. Someone that you're living with, someone that you're helping, and we see it all the time. Those will be the first ones that take your life from you.
Yeah, and that's what they say, especially when it's a woman, a black woman. That person who takes her life is usually somebody that she knows, and it's usually an intimate partner. So that's true. It's usually not a stranger. Because why would she go out there to meet somebody? Well, she's not going out there by herself, so she's got to be going out there for a reason, and then she goes out there, and then they're saying this guy was there, and I guess this workman, and then she gets into it with this workman who steals this money from her.
Down here when you're building a house, like I shared earlier, and Shakina told me this personally, that they stole all her solar panels. And a lot of times, you know, I, I'm just speaking in general. If you're building a house and you got someone out there that's doing security or watching your property, right? You got to understand that this person, when you're bringing all of that equipment in there, they're looking at that as money. They
Yeah,
like, wow, and that's when all of the I mean, there's some good watchmen and things like that, but just as a woman, I think they'll be more tempted to say, hey, listen, I know this compound. You can come in here, you can jump over the fence, you can rip it off. I'm gonna be gone at this time or something like that. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
As
yeah.
opposed as if she had a husband
Hmm.
or someone a male figure or that was handling and responsible for it. I think they would probably try to take advantage of the sisters more so than they would, if there's men involved. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
And like I said, I mean, and as more information come out, but how the way that they killed her, just to to think that someone would get upset to this degree where they took this sister's life. She was very important to us, very important to the movement. We lost a huge hero and figure in this repatriation movement. There's not a lot of good people here. There's not a lot of cool people here. However, because
Yeah,
Shakina was just that.
she sure
She was
was.
just that. Man,
Yeah.
it's just a huge tragedy. Like I said, if if I this sister, her name is Kim. I forget Kim last name, but she has Shiro. She traveled all over Africa, bringing the arts and things like that. And she
Hmm.
has a Shiro's program that she does in different countries. She has done it here, and she said, we have to have districts. You understand what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
don't need to come and go into a country and be out in the bush building our house by ourselves.
Right.
you know we need to be in a place where if we have to eat, we can eat amongst ourselves. If we have to leave out of our property, we have other people that are our family that's right next door that can watch our house for us.
Right.
So that's what was the whole idea, is to build a community so that we can secure and have security around our community.
Right.
If we were all building somewhere together, there, everybody that's building houses have problems with their contractors. You understand what I'm saying? Always some type of dispute, always some type of disagreement. You have to get a different contractor. By the time you finish your house, you have two or three different contractors. You
Oh
understand what I'm
wow,
saying? That's how
that's
people. That's
crazy.
how it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
people don't
crazy.
have all the money up front. So that's a lot of conflict. That's a lot of conflict. I
Yeah.
mean, the nature of business, that's why they have negotiations. You
Mhm.
know, however, you have such a mass of people going into a situation that's unregulated. You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's financial chaos. You know what I mean? And we're losing, and now we're seeing, you know, these conflicts. We have a couple of situations where there may be, you know, enemies created. Like if I got up here and said, "Hey, yeah, you know, I got these people. I'm pointing out these people right now." Like the situation with Art when we had that situation at the ATM. Art saw a situation that she wasn't comfortable with, so she went and started recording it. Okay,
Mhm.
and not to say the situation was or wasn't, it wasn't enough evidence there to say something was going on, but that's how Art felt. But
Yes.
there was other people involved that was willing to do bodily injury. By the time we got out of there, you know, a crowd had came. It was crazy. So, you know, we can't come over and, like I said, put ourselves in harm's way. So, you know, trying to expose, you know, the dealings that run deep. You understand what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
can't, you know, we can't expose everything. We can talk about things and we can try to, you know, bring about awareness and things like that. But we just can't jump in and try to disrupt, you know, the Indians and how, you know, their distribution channel. We can't come in, you know, most of the stuff you're gonna get here, you know, a third of it is gonna be damn near expired. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't go into their store and tear their stores down and say, "Hey, you guys got to stop this. That's making enemies." You know, we can't say, "Hey, well, I'm going to expose a pedophilia ring." You know, all of these things. When you're doing it and you're blatant, there's ways to do things, and YouTube isn't always the way to go out and try to do things. Things need to be done in a proper way. Then there's some things that you know you got to pick your battles
Right.
because you get too deep in the wrong thing, you know, like anywhere you can lose your life.
Yes, exactly.
I think
Exactly.
that happened in a couple of these situations where the sisters, you know, created ruffled some feathers and became targets for, you know, people, you know, that are benefiting from the things they were trying to
Yes.
expose.
Well, that's what I felt about Veronica. That's what I felt about
Yeah.
Anja. That's what I feel
Yeah.
about, yeah, yeah, because they were talking about things that they weren't supposed to talk about. They were engaging in
Yeah.
behaviors that they were not supposed to engage in. They were telling us things
Hold
that
on
they
one
were
second.
not, okay. They were
Okay, I
telling us
can hear you.
they were telling us things that they were not supposed to tell us, okay? So this is why they made themselves targets, okay? They basically made
Yeah.
themselves targets, and instead of somebody telling them, like I always tell y'all, somebody should have been telling them, them fake sisters international should have been telling them, and them other fake sister groups over there should have been saying, hey, you can't come over here and act like this. This is not America. You will get hurt over here like this. They don't like women who act like this. You got to be quiet. If you want to do all this and protest and do all this against them, then you might need to go home. This ain't the place for you. But nobody was doing that. Nobody
No.
was doing that. And then,
Yeah.
but I need to say this. Beverly was not the first woman to pass away in Gambia. Since I've been reporting this,
I know.
Audrey was the first woman, and that was in April. So it hasn't even been a year yet. April will make a year, but it has not even been a year yet that these six women have passed away. Not even a year yet. So what I want to do now, Quasi, I want to go through these questions, okay, through the comments and see if people have questions that they want to ask because I want to give people an opportunity to talk about how they feel about the situation. Okay, a London lady is saying,
Okay, sure.
I'm beginning to think that if one is a single woman wishing to relocate, perhaps we should go with friends and groups. Exactly. You cannot go, if you go over there by yourself like that, you're just making yourself a target. That's all. That's all. Because they're going to wonder why are you that age and why are you single and why you don't want a man. And then I don't understand if you don't have interest in men, why would you go to Africa? Why would you go to a society where men rule? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why you would people women do that. That's to me that's like setting themselves up for to get in a bad situation. So, Crazy, what do you think about that? What's your input on that? Okay, yeah, he must not be there. So that's what I think, Lady London. All right. I think, you shouldn't don't go to these type of places. If I'm going to a place where I know I'm going to be judged, where I'm going to be looked at funny, where I'm going to be treated a certain way, I'm just not going to go. I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to put myself at risk like that. Unless of course you have blood family there. Yes, if you have blood family there, then that's different because you're not going to be alone. But if you're there and you're just going to visit and you're going to hang out at these little spots, that is not good. That is not cool to do that by yourself. Okay? Because somebody can easily put something in your drink. Remember, people do that. What about in Colombia? They do it all the time. Okay? So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. This isn't some place that you can these aren't things you can take good. London lady says safety in numbers. Exactly. And that's what it is. It's about safety in numbers. The more we go together, the more, the safer we are. Safer we are. Yolanda says, need to be sure this is the real culprit and not the fall guy to protect tourism. Yes. That's what they said. Hold on, I think Quasi's back. That's what they said, y'all. That's what they said. Quasi, somebody just said, I'm going to read the comment. We need to make sure that this is the real culprit and not the fall guy to protect tourism. Because with the sisters, like I said in Ghana, that's what they said. That's what those repats said. They said that dude he didn't do it. But they arrested this dude, charged him with the crime because they did not want to mess up their reputation. They wanted to solve the case quickly because they didn't want it to impact tourism. They didn't want Americans to feel unsafe in Ghana. So do you feel like this could be the case here too? That this could not be we need like well she said we need to make sure this is the real culprit
Well,
and not the fall
well,
guy.
we also want to make sure that you know what we're saying is based on factual evidence.
Right.
You understand? Because we don't want to become our own judge, jury, and executioner.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that with the situation that we was in with Art, and then we had Gambian prosecutors look at the situation and say, "Hey, listen,
Yeah,
you know, you guys aren't at fault for anything," but still, people don't want to believe the truth. That's what we want. We want the truth. We want to know what's happening.
exactly. We
But
want the truth. Exactly.
I think I I don't know what else could have been going on behind the scenes that would make someone want to take this sister life. Now, people are alluding towards, a situation she had with the land.
Yes.
Okay, the
Yes.
situation she had with the land was not with Gambian people.
Right.
You understand? It
Right.
was with other diasporans. So, if that's the case, that even makes the situation more sinister.
Exactly.
That we would be conspiring as diasporans to assassinate one another. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yes.
Could it get that deep? I think it could get that deep.
I do too.
However, the 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 circumstances behind her false accusations came from the same source that mine came from. So there's nothing credible to that, of her doing anything wrong, and like I said, it all of that derived from a same a common enemy that we had that was looking to tarnish the reputation of anybody that could have made land sales here so that they can run land scams
So you think the
so they
whole
can get
thing
all the coin.
So you think the whole thing of accusing Shakina of being a land scammer was really just to damage her credibility so the people who were doing the land scamming would not have to deal with her. They wanted to knock her out the picture
It was a
so they
smoke
could
screen.
continue. Yeah.
That was taking place early on before the YouTube, the blackballing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And of Shakina, you know, uh, and then when people here were being suppressed,
Okay, wait a
as
minute.
far
I'm
as their
sorry. Did you say the blackballing of Shakina? Shakina was blackballed. Did I hear you right? What do you mean?
Yes,
Can you
exactly.
elaborate on that?
When I first got into the market, Juliet and Shakina both were advocating for citizenship. So Shakina, her program was fast track to citizenship,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Juliet's was immediate, automatic
Yeah.
citizenship.
Right.
Okay, so there was, like I said, there was a feud there. There was a conflict there with the two different brands. So
Okay.
Shakina, she's soft spoken, she's laid back. She's not someone that's going to be all over and things like that. And with Juliet, she just, her personality and her being consistent on YouTube, this brought more attention to her. But Shakina was here advocating for that before Juliet.
Oh wow,
You understand
really?
what I'm
I didn't
saying?
know that. So Shakina was
Yes,
doing
fast
this
track to citizenship.
before Miss Juliet started doing it.
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Because she had the African returnees on the African returnees association, diaspora
Yes.
returnees association,
Yes.
and like here, it's been a lot of division, and with this situation, I think it just left us more vulnerable because if we had more unity, it would be more, community building outside of, you have people going out and they're impulse buying. They're buying properties that's off the beaten path. So that's exposing you because you'll be there by yourself and you'll be isolated in the poor country. And we saw YouTubers get robbed multiple times. One of these YouTubers, they said the she got robbed while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
And then it came to turn out to be what? The security guy, right? Or and the boyfriend. You understand? That's crazy. I mean, that's like the chicken letting the wolf come stay the night, letting the
Yeah.
fox come in and stay the night.
Exactly.
So it's like, and then you wanna, like I said, we just created an environment of disunity, and you have a grouping together of the wrong people that's
Yes.
promoting, hey, come, live a free lifestyle,
Yes.
find, your romance, find your, I want to
Your
say, like,
romance.
your fella got your groove back. You know what I mean? You want, find a man or whatever that, and or just date. Like I said, it's a situation where the sisters are by themselves and there's no one to really watch their back.
Yeah, exactly. So let's read this comment. This comment says,
Hmm.
Grace P says she has been back in her homeland since 2017. As said, such a shame. She was there for 7 years only for this to happen. Very sad. So the whole 7 years, tell us what else happened? Was anything else happening to her the whole 7 years she was there? Was it all just peachy, or did this just turn bad, or what? How was it for her the 7 years she was there? No, Gambian was not Gambia. Miss Grace, Gambia was not
Like,
her homeland. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Let me
well,
ask Crazy answer that. Crazy.
no, she's been over here for, she's been coming about 15, 16 years and living for about 7 years. Okay.
Okay.
And things have changed. Even with the administration, they're saying with the administration here, a couple, you seeing more murders and you seeing a rise in crime. And when Yahya Jammeh was here, people weren't murdering like that. We had the girl, the Gambian sister, God bless her soul, she got stabbed and killed by a Senegalese national. Then you had the two police officers that were killed,
Yeah, it was
several months back.
hmm
And there's a few more incidences where people are killed here. It's a country of over 2 million people. It's nothing compared to the state, though. Do not be fooled. It's nothing compared to the states as far as the murder rate and things like that. Per capita with the same size market. And however, they said with the prior administration, it wasn't, as much crime and as much murder, that's taken place. So, that's a part of the change. Anytime you have a government that, whose values are more towards Western values,
Yeah,
it's,
they are.
you'll see a lot of deviant, activity come into the environment.
Hmm. So this one is from Shabbat Constructions, and he says Gambians are liars. They're envious and they're cheaters. If you are not one of them, if you are not one of them belonging to whichever tribe, your child, you're a child of a slave or a tubob. Okay, in their eyes. Well, basically, he's saying open your eyes. They don't. Wow. Okay, so what do you think about that? He's saying the Gambians are liars, they're envious, and they're cheats. And if you're not one of them, and if you don't belong to any of their tribes, you're considered a child of the slave. They consider Black Americans children of slaves or two bobs. And we need to open our eyes and see what's really going on. This is how they feel about us, and we need to quit playing with these people. So, what do you have to say about that?
It's more culture here. Okay, it's more culture in the state. When I go out, I feel safe. I don't feel threatened at all. I don't feel on guard about anything. When I'm in Atlanta, if I go to a gas station and I see some black kids out there, I'm not going to that gas station. You understand what I'm saying? I was shot at a gas station in Atlanta. I think that when you come over and you act like you're superior to the locals,
Yeah.
I think that you become more of a target for these lies, and for all of this deception and all this. I think you become a target. But I think if you come over and you're humble, like I haven't had many problems here. I haven't had many problems at all. Not the problems that I'm seeing that other people are having. You
Mhm.
understand what I mean? And you know, I don't see that. I see people who are very humble. I see people who are, family oriented. I see
Mhm.
people who have religion. You understand what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
come from a country, America. Nobody don't have no religion. Nobody have no religion. We just out to tear each other throat out if we get an opportunity. You know what I mean? Yes.
Mhm.
Do people lie? Yeah. People cheat? Yeah. Like over here, like it's more like a brother told me. People will tell you what you want to hear. Like they
Yeah.
can't say no. So a part of the culture is, instead of saying no, they'll say maybe let me see if I can do it. No, it's either you can or you can't do it. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So that could be interpreted as a lie. They have a very accommodating personality,
Mhm.
and then they can't say they don't. A part of the culture, they can't say no. You understand what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, I think most people lie. Most people lying all the time, all day. You
Mhm.
understand? But to single out Gambians and go into all of this nationalism about, you can say this about Nigerians, you can say this about Ghanaians, you can say this about African Americans, you can say this about pretty much any culture you go into.
Yeah.
You got the same poverty mindset, you got the same, immorality.
Right.
You understand what I mean? I think that's a more of a people issue as opposed to a Gambian issue.
So, I don't think it's everybody there, Mr. Shabbat Construction. I mean, it may be a majority of the people, but I wouldn't say it's everybody. I wouldn't stereotype the group like that. I just wouldn't, because everybody is not the same. Yes, zones and a gated development might make repats feel safer. So this person agrees. They say that zones and gated communities will make repats feel safer. So this person agrees with what you're saying. So the nurse Critical Nurse Reddy says, I tried to speak with a YouTuber in the Gambia about creating a community that was enclosed and guarded by us and some locals, but the community would have rules to keep the riffraff out. And what happened after that, Nurse Reddy? What happened? Okay, here it is. Let's see what happened after she said. He did not agree with the rules, which are rules we live by in the US, basically. So what do you think about that? She said she tried to do that, but it came up they wanted rules. You got to have rules, like she said, to keep the riffraff out because the riffraff is in Gambia. So she wanted to keep them out. So they tried to come up with rules, but they didn't want to come up with rules because I guess they modeled too much of the US and people didn't like that. So what's your comment about that?
You know, we have to create projects that are run by communities, by the community. So it would have to be a project that's put together and it's all laid out. TAF have a project like that where it's for
Yeah,
those from diaspora who are interested in coming
yeah,
together. We talked about that to
yeah.
build a community within inside already an established city. We were
Right.
This was something that we were supposed to do years ago with Taft. He made an offer.
hmm So basically, y'all, it's these nice houses. It's
He
these
made an offer to build us build a community, and it, because the individual had their own agenda, they did not do what was best for us as a community. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people were led into bad land deals, bad situations. So we as a community, we have to create a package, we have to create something. And it don't have to be everybody, it's just the ones that's going to agree to the rules, the protocol, the rules and the regulations, protocols and procedures. Any association has that.
exactly. And she said, Miss Nurse Reddy says that was a red flag to her when they didn't want to have these rules to keep the riffraff out. She said that was a red flag that this was not a community she wanted to be a part of. Crazy, let me know when you have to go, okay? Because I know it's late there and you've been on here for almost an hour. So Freddie Maxwell says,
What's that?
I said, let me know when you have to go because I know you've been on here for almost an hour. Okay, and it's late there. So just let me know if you have to go. Okay.
It's
Uh,
just breaking up a little bit.
okay. So Freddie Maxwell said, did she say Latricia passed away in the Ivory Coast in her introduction? I believe Queen L is back in the US and did not pass away in the Ivory Coast. Ma'am, who was Queen L? You don't know what I'm talking about, okay? This lady
I
was
have I have another 20 minutes. I can stay on another 20 minutes
okay,
in
ma'am. See
case
this
we can bring some clarity.
see this is what
I
we're
got
talking.
another 20. I got another 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. See, this is what we're talking about. This is how misinformation gets spread. Okay. There, there's obviously more than one person with that name, ma'am. Okay. I don't know who Queen L is. I don't know about any of that. Now, why would I sit up here and say somebody passed away and they didn't? Why would I say that? Why don't you look through my channel before you try to correct me? Because you don't know what you're talking about. Shabbat construction is such a liar. Real Gambians are exceptional, good people. I don't know about exceptional good people, but I mean, there's some good people and there's some bad people. That's just the reality of it. Okay. Did they? Okay, this is the same comment. When Crazy comes back, I'll put him back up here. Humble or not, Gambia has changed and it's no longer safe, and that's the truth, y'all. And that's so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate that since the short time that I've been going there for 3 years, from the first time I went to now, it is like a completely different country. But what I tell y'all is that it's development. Development does that. When a country tries to modernize, this is exactly what happens to the country. This is exactly what happens. Um, where is the sister that goes by the name African Repat? Well, some people thought she was missing, but I believe Molly Morris said that she just quit making videos because this is really draining and it's really time consuming. and you don't get compensated monetarily for your time. So if this is something that you don't feel in your heart to do, or if it's something that you're trying to just make money off of, you're going to quit because it's you're not making the money all the time you spent and all the hassle that you go through and all the people who constantly try to whatever they try to do to you. You know, it's just like this lady don't even know what she's talking about, but just come on here and just basically call me a liar. I mean, lady, please go look before you speak. Like that kind of stuff just basically gets on your nerves, and you're just like, hey, forget this. This is a thankless job, pretty much. So she probably got tired of it. And that's what he said. He said she's just living her life, and she probably is. Okay. Uh, Mr. Wayne says so basically, melanated folks escaping America, us to go live on a beautiful continent of Africa, but the melanated diaspora still want to live like, yes, yes, they still want to live like they're in America, bringing their toxic ways. Yes, that's exactly the issue. That's exactly what I see. They want to go there and live like they're living, like they do in America, and you can't do that. You can't even operate like you do in America. Where is Carla at? Okay, uh, yeah, he does. We just if he comes back, I'll ask him. But that's what what's his name said. What was his name, y'all? Molly Morris. Okay, here he. Wait a minute, y'all. Here he comes. Okay, we'll ask him. Does he know anything about her? Okay, but Molly Morris said that. What did he say? Crazy. They want to know if you know anything about African repat
Yeah.
that she's missing, and well, not missing. She's just not on YouTube anymore, and they want to know if you know anything about African repat. Okay, he's frozen, y'all. Okay, so when he comes back, we'll
Picking
ask
up the connection right now. You said they want to know anything what?
do you know anything about African repat? African repat just kind of disappeared, and well, she stopped making videos, and they want to know if you know anything about what happened to her. Yeah, and that's what they told me. Now, like this time of night there in Gambia, the internet gets really bad. And see, the first time I went to Gambia, that was one thing I noticed about Gambia was how good their internet, their Wi-Fi is, but not anymore. Not anymore. They said they think they slow it down or turn it off at night. Okay, ma'am, Miss Healing Heart. As soon as he come back, we'll try to get an answer. Okay. Okay. Now, Miss Nurse Reddy says, I will not put that person's name out there to keep a building in our okay. To keep I am about being positive, will not weigh the negative, especially okay. So she doesn't want to tell I don't okay, she doesn't want to talk about it. She don't want to tell you who the person was. Because they probably gonna have a whole attitude against her, want to argue with her every time they see her, try to fight her like Cynthia did me. You know, this is what these grown people do over there. Uh, they keep their mouth closed. That's exactly what they do. They just keep their mouth closed. So, but we need rules. When people don't agree with the rules, this is what happens. Exactly. This is what happens. This is how the people got scammed. They don't agree with the rules. Uh, okay. Let me see what else. Uh, okay. Let me go here. Now they're saying, hey, Kiki and Crazy, I always wonder if it would be better for Black Americans to purchase remote land and build on it in the U.S. Is it safer? Well, it's about as safe as the U.S. is going to be. But I mean, people want to go to Africa for different reasons that Africa has to offer. At least I know I do. Like I always tell people, it's the social aspect of Africa. You know, it's completely different than here. I go there for that because if I want to go see, just the beach, I can move to one of the coast, east or west coast, and see water, or Florida and see water every day, all day, or even Texas. So I can see the beach here, but it's not that. It is the social networks that you build in Africa that you don't have here. Now, something that Quasi was telling you guys about was something that I had known about for a couple years, and that's probably 2 years now. And this was like some kind of, it was a community that uh, Taft was going to offer Black Americans, okay? And it was inside like one of the smart communities that so many of this community, these houses would be cut off, would be let out, would be blocked off for Black Americans to start their community, to have a community there. But I really don't know what happened with that project because people are these people who go to the Gambia, they don't want to build a community. They're in competition with each other, and this is what happens. And this is probably why Shakina, like he said, they blackballed Shakina. That's why she was always by herself, because they blackballed her. She said something they didn't like. She did something they didn't like. And she was there longer than any of them. This is what they do to you. So, they're wow. That just makes so
Can
much
you
sense.
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, they were asking you about African repat. They want to know, do you know anything about African repat and why she's not making videos? It's the Wi-Fi, y'all. Crazy. Did you hear the question?
No, Daddy's on the phone. Oh,
I don't think he heard us,
I'm
y'all.
coming. Go ahead. You guys go out. I'm coming.
Crazy. Did you hear the
I'm gonna
question?
try my other connection
Okay. So this one says many Arab nations.
because I'm not getting.
Okay. Many Arab nations are the most developed countries on earth, and they do not have societal problems. And oh, that ain't true. And crime problems because they implement divine. No, ma'am. That is so far from the truth. Oh, that is so far from the truth. You need to go and look up what they do to to the women in their culture. Go look that up. What they do to women who don't agree or who they feel like embarrass them. That is not true. That is a big, 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 big lie. I'm not saying you're a liar, but what you're saying right there, it is not true. Not by any means is that true. They still have thieves over there. They still, the way that, just alone. What about the honor unalivings? Let's start with honor unalivings. Okay, we're going to start with them and we're going to stop with them. Now, when you, no place that does honor unalivings to their own family members, no, no, ma'am, please. I can't believe you said that. You misspoke. Yeah, you misspoke. Um, but how do you know that? How do you know that? This is what these are generalized statements. How do you know that? Did you take a survey? Did the BBC take a survey? Did Al Jazeera take a survey? Did the Gambia TV networks, news networks, did they take a survey? If you don't have facts, don't say that. Say, I think. That's what I think. Because this is clearly what you think. This is not a fact. Because you don't know. You don't know. Because from what I've seen, there's no way you could be happy and you're paying to play. Okay? You're paying to play. There's no way you could be happy. No way. You're just getting along to get along. Now that's the reality, okay? I made a whole video about that. If you're not sure, you might want to go check it out, okay? Because that's part of the problem in your country too. That's a big problem. That's messing up the whole moral fabric of the Gambia. The whole moral fabric is crumbled up and crinkled up because of that. We need to avoid the U.S. and their mindsets and humble up and unite. And unite and do what? Unite and do what? Watching from Taykiki, watching from Sandon. Oh, thank you. Hello. Sending many loves. We sympathize with. Yes, thank you. because this is really sad. This is really sad and this is really bad. Really sad and really bad. Okay, y'all, he gonna try to come again. But y'all not see it wasn't like this. I'm telling y'all, the first time I went to Gambia, it was not like this. The internet was really strong. The internet was very good. Okay, they want to know about African repat. What you know
Well,
about her?
I think I'm good. About who?
African repat. You remember African repat?
I don't know her.
Yeah, you probably do. You just she's a YouTube person in the
African repat?
Gambia.
No, I don't know her.
Oh, you don't know her? Okay, so let's go with this one. This is another
Uh-uh.
question. All the melanated Americans don't want to live self-sustainable, growing your own healthy food, harvesting your water, harvesting your own solar power, learning the African culture, and stay in the U.S. So some people are saying that it's safer for us to get a community. Somebody wanted to know, what did you think about that? That this community that you talk about, that we built this community in the United States. They want to know, do you think it's
Okay.
safer for us to do that here?
Hold on. I'm just plugging up my other Wi-Fi. I mean that's the idea, definitely, to be able to build a community, and I think it's obvious that that's needed.
Okay. So here somebody says, Eric B says, please do not associate what goes on in that little small tiny country called Gambia with the rest of Africa. Wow, because let me tell you, when I used to tell people, my African friends, that I wanted to go to Gambia, you know what they would say to me? They would look at me and say, why? What for? What do you want to go there for? There's nothing in Gambia. Nothing. That's what they used Africans used to tell me. So what do you say about that, Quasi? When people say there's nothing in Gambia?
Well, I mean, it depends. If you're looking for, a city life, Gambia is a tourist country. It's the smallest country in
Mhm.
Africa. Is there opportunity here? Yes, it's definitely opportunity there. I think we've all seen that through the amount of people who are interested in retiring here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And Gambia is one of the few countries that speak English. We
Yeah.
definitely want to move into English speaking African countries. This should be on our top list of places to go. We're already having problems. What do you think the situation is going to be? You go in a country, you don't know what's going on.
Hmm. And that's what I said. I said I
You
want to
can
go to
communicate with
Gambia.
everybody.
Right.
Gambia is
And
a
I said I
beautiful
want
country.
exactly. And that's what I was saying why I wanted to go to Gambia, because I like Senegal. I had studied Senegalese culture, but I didn't know French. So I said I could go to Gambia because they speak English and that's close to Senegal. And I'm sure they had some, the Senegalese culture probably spilled over in Gambia. So you're right. That was one of the main reasons I did want to go, was because they spoke English in that country. So while you were gone, one of the community members came on and said that the Arab countries are safer countries in Africa, and I said no, they're not. Just simply from honor killing, this lady felt like they did not have any. They felt like she felt like they didn't have any crime in Arab nations, and I said that is not true. Starting with honor unalivings. Okay, so this person is saying that in Egypt, Morocco, Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, that all of these countries are full of crime and they're Arab nations. So that's why I'm saying you can't generalize about places or people, places, and things. You cannot do that because you're going to be proven to be wrong. Oh, we got a lot of comments on here, Quasi. Um, oh no, I'm not reading that one. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Now, y'all, remember, we're on here talking about what happened with Shakina. All right, that was the purpose of this. People leave their shops open. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm sorry, y'all. That's not what I'm talking about today. Please forgive me, but I'm not talking about that. Okay. So let's get hold on, y'all. I need to get to the comments about Shakina. Not that. Um, Shakina's family just made a statement on her Facebook page. They state it was murder and their fight for justice has just begun. Exactly. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. But too bad Audrey didn't have that. Too bad Beverly didn't have that. Too bad Veronica didn't have that. Mary did. But thank God Anja didn't have that. Thank God that Shakina's family came out swinging. Thank God. Thank God. Something is finally going to get done about this. Right. The fight has just begun because they're going to try to say it was just this little dude. So obviously the family don't believe that it's just this little workman dude. Okay? Because remember, she talked to her family. Laws are being made in many countries, but they do not follow them. The people are the issue. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the people, not the laws.
Yeah.
The people don't do these. This is not the Gambian people. This is us going over there creating all this chaos, creating all this chaos, feeding all this chaos with our money, creating all this chaos with our money. Now, Clayton just told y'all they blackballed this lady because what? She didn't fit into their little clickety click click click. She wouldn't do what they wanted her to do. She wouldn't be what they wanted her to be. And
You
this
know,
was
this
the only
chaos
person
with
who was
our
there.
arrogance.
Say it
And
again. Go
we
crazy. What'd you
we
say?
sat down and we spoke about the issues that were taking place here in the Gambia, and we shouldn't, we have to get with like minds and be able to, build places where we can be safe. Like, many people stayed with me. Elvin stayed with me for a whole year. Miss Beverly stayed with me. There was quite a few people that came through our properties. Audrey stayed with us. Any one of those people could have stayed on board, and we could have built and expanded together. But everybody wanted to branch out, right?
Exactly.
Everybody have their own dreams of what they want to do instead of
But
staying
that's
in the
because they.
proximity.
Mhm.
Anybody that know me and come around me, I have a team of people. It's not
Right. You
me,
broke up.
that will be
Mhm.
able to go out and represent us in our affairs. When I was going out and we were going doing business, it would be me, G, Cole. You understand what I'm saying? We rolling together. It's not going to be a situation where somebody going to jump on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's not going to happen. And it's not like, and I can't say it's not something that I think that we should. There's definitely a lot going on behind the scene with the passings of some of these sisters. We know some of them could have created enemies for themselves. Some of them could have fell victim to romance scams.
Yes,
And
they
but
did.
this last one, this blatant assault on a sister, I mean, it's just madness. And we can't help each other if we're scattered out. You understand what I mean? We don't have
Right.
to live in the same house, but we need to be in the same community. We need to have one contractor. If it's 50 of us building, that's 49 less problems we have. We dealing with one contractor. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. All right. Now this comment goes. This is the lady again who was saying that the who was speaking incorrectly about the Arab countries. So she says that I am not surprised you passionately disagree. LOL. Yeah, I passionately disagree with the country where they practice honor unalivings. Yes, ma'am. I passionately disagree. And you know what? You should passionately disagree too. Okay. So let's go to the next comment. Eric Jackson says, thanks for your blessed platform. It is wise to pressure the Gambian embassy to ensure the Gambian government and police put an end Oh, he said, is it wise to pressure? Well, that's how we do it here. We don't pressure the Gambian embassy. We're pressuring our embassy. We're not asking the Gambians for anything. We're asking our government. And that's what we do here. If we want something, we put pressure on our government. And when we put pressure on them, that's when they do it. Okay. So, yes, that's their job. That's their job to make sure that Americans are protected when they go to other countries. That's the, what you call the British embassy's job. That's their job. Okay. So, we're just asking them to do their job to ensure the Gambian government and police put an end to this violence. Well, we're not asking for an end to the violence. We're asking that our citizens be safe when they come to your country. We're asking if they do pass away that they have autopsies and stock springs. Putting an end to the violence, that's that's subjective. You can't like what does that mean, put an end to the violence? What I think putting an end to the violence is different than what you think putting an end to the violence is. So no, sir, nowhere did we even say that. Okay. And I'm sorry that you thought that's what we were trying to do. No, we're asking our own government to do what they're there to do. That's all. That's all. Because we have a right to travel and be safe wherever we
So,
travel.
and Kiki, we are living in a time.
Say it again.
Kiki, you can hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
It's like, you know, what could we do though? Right? I think us and our movement, I think could be more effective in as it has come to today in saving lives if we actually work together. Because the government,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the type of reach that's needed for a person that's traveling into a country that's
Yes.
getting into, going into a community and getting involved with, all types of people, down a dead end street with
Yep.
a burial plot laid out for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
we're walking into danger when first of all when we go into a whole nother country, and what I've been seeing is not having the proper respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
not having proper respect because we have this sense of arrogance about us. Automatically, when you go into a country and you're not willing to lay on the floor, if you're not willing to, you know, humble yourself and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
break bread and that degree, you really have to come up out of that Western
Right. He can
mindset
right go.
and
That's
it's
the
just a
internet, y'all.
human.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
That's just
True.
human and have compassion. But if you don't show
Okay.
that, trust me, every ounce of energy and negative that you put out, is going to be put, it's going to
It's
come
gonna come
right
back
back
to
to
you.
you.
It will.
You
Yes,
understand?
it will.
You
Mm-hmm.
start rubbing
That's what.
wood, it's bound to catch on fire.
Yeah. And these people going with the wrong intentions. They are going with their intents. Their intention is not in the right place. That's another big issue over there. People are not going over there with their mind and their hearts in the right place. So, okay, so Eric B says don't listen to somebody because he was married to a white lady before and he's irrelevant. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you say so. So let's see what the next comment is. Um, the nurse Reddy says I was in Tanzania and what I heard from a Muslim woman is Muslims there do not believe in spirituality and faith. They believe that everything is done through them to get anything, she stated. So she believes I don't know, y'all. We're not gonna talk about that today. I'm sorry. We got to stay on topic, and that is not it. That is why so much turmoil is going on with. Okay. Somehow y'all done started talking about something else. Um, okay. We're not talking about that. We are not talking about what people believe and what people practice and how they practice it. No, I don't do that because I like to each his own. Okay. To believe what you believe, do what you want to do. Okay, this person, Django, says if you visit Gambia and only hang out with bums at Senegambia and the tourist areas, you're only running to hustlers and artists. And he's right. And that's what I keep saying. That's what I keep saying. But the problem is, Django, they've hung out so down. When they go, that's where people take them. See, so when I went, the first place somebody told me to stay, it wasn't Quasi. It was one of those repasts in the Gambia to stay at Tamale, which is on the Senegambia Strip, which is in the heart of the Senegambia Strip. You don't want to go there. So they indoctrinate you into this tourist lifestyle, this tourist um, way of living and way of being. So the men you're going to see are bumpsters, and they're all around you. You're not even around Gambians because guess what? Real Gambians, the real working Gambians, the real live Gambians, the real upstanding Gambians, they don't even go down there. So anybody you're going to meet down there, like Django was saying, are hustlers and con artists. And unfortunately, that's what happens. We get directed by the people who are supposed to guide us, and we
Yep.
end up in the wrong place. And that's what
You,
happens
you,
time.
like I would never let any of my guests stay down in Senegambia.
Yeah, see,
I'll never let them stay down there.
see,
You understand what I'm saying?
mhm,
It's not a place of, it's not a homey place. It's a
no,
place of prostitution. You
thank
have
you.
a lot of people, a lot of these Liberian women, and it's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah,
down. It's crazy down
yeah.
there.
But this
So
is
we
what
have
they're
to have our
directing you
own
to.
places.
Yes. But this is what they're directing them to. They're directing you to get involved in this culture, this touristy culture, this illicit
The sex
culture,
tourism.
anything goes culture, and then you get in these this spiritual stuff that you don't know what you're doing or what's going on, and then you get caught up. You get caught up, like you
Yeah,
said.
especially our people, our sisters that's into spiritualism.
Yeah,
You know, that crowd here is a very dark crowd.
yeah.
You understand
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I saw parables and things that's going on. It really get into some, we're talking about a place that, have a culture of human sacrificing.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? And when you start getting into spiritualism and you start talking about, roots and things like that and past lives and, you getting into that, you get
so
to that,
basically he's
and they're only catering to what's the aspect of man. Like if you got a problem with your husband or you have a problem with somebody and you go to them, they're not going to tell you, hey, you're the problem. They're going to say, hey, take this, take that, do
yeah.
this, do that. You know what I mean? And your problem's going to go away.
Hmm. Exactly. That's exactly
You
what they're
understand what
doing.
I mean?
Yes. Yes. So you need to understand that this is the kind of this is the culture
Right.
that you're going into. So if you're going over there looking for black magic, guess what? You're going to find it. But when you find it, you're not going to be ready to deal with it. You're not going to be ready to deal with it because we're not prepared for any of that. Any of that. People walking through walls. Yeah.
And
Ask
truth.
the recap lady who saw a man walk through a wall. Hmm. Just all of a sudden he's there walking through walls. Because you
Yeah.
know why? These people are trained to do this stuff
No.
since they're little kids. Their whole family practices this. And this is where we go and thinking, oh, I want to know about spirituality. Oh, I want to know about African spirit. Oh, I'm an African spiritualist. Oh, I'm a witch. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. All right. Keep on playing with the devil.
Yeah.
Implementation of the Ten Commandments alone
And,
will help shape integrity. Lady, what are you
and
talking about?
you can't
Okay, go ahead, Quasi.
When you go into a different culture, you don't want to have views that are on the extreme of that environment. You
Right.
understand? You know, they would burn people before, in the
Hmm.
past when you go into a culture. So what happens is when you go into an environment in your life, people don't like the way that I am because I'm different. Okay, they're all Muslims.
Hmm.
I can see a person for who they are in a past life. So I'm telling somebody in the past life, you did this or you did that to me. They're looking at you now like, oh, this person has a problem.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And then now it becomes, so we just have to be careful because you're going to be viewed as definitely being different, very different, and we don't want to come in and bump heads with the culture.
Right.
You
And that's
understand? When
the
we come,
point.
we want to come humble, like we're coming. We've been away from home for a long time. Now we're coming home, and we want to heal. Okay, we want to heal. So that means we have to go back to zero, just like the brother just said. We have to remove our old, that Western mindset. He said we're looking to leave the West and to experience
To go
something
find.
different, but we're bringing the Western mindset with us.
Yes.
But we don't
Exactly.
we don't understand how to leave the Western mindset. The only thing we can do is to accept culture. Understanding Islam is very important.
Yeah.
For me to be able to operate in the culture, I've learned about Islam a long time ago. Did it to me. I was like, man, I ain't getting down with those those are terrorists, right? I mean, I had the same mindset because we're taught Christianity in America. When it was introduced to me, that's what I was thinking. And then when I
Right.
learned about the culture, and then I saw how much it intertwined into the African culture that don't you stand out like a sore thumb.
Right. So look, this lady says, yes, Quasi, you know her, African Repat, Carla Ashley. We haven't seen or heard from her of her. She has a YouTube channel. She had issues with her realty property, her rental property, landlord. She went to Senegal, came back
Oh,
to
I
the
know Carla. Yeah, I remember. I remember Carla. Yup, I know what you're talking
okay.
about
So
now.
she
The little short sister. Yeah.
yeah, so she
What
said what
about her?
happened. She said what happened to her, and nobody has seen her. So she said, "Do you know what happened to her?"
Oh, that's weird because I haven't. I know she went to Senegal. I just figured that she stayed in Senegal. Uh,
Okay, because
Yeah,
yeah,
that
she
might be
came.
worth looking into, considering everything that's going on.
Well, Molly Morris said that she's just not making videos. I guess he's heard
Yeah.
from her because somebody asked him. Oh no, for Black Righteous asked him, and he told her that she's okay. She's just not making videos. She's just living her life off of YouTube, so she's okay. The you are serious says the Gambia is a great country to retire, retire, retire. Don't come with kids. Okay.
I would
Well,
say, it's a great place to retire. You know, I wish my children were here because what I see is that they can go out and they can have friendships amongst other boys and other girls that's their age that don't have guns on them, that's not doing drugs, that's not into the Nicki Minaj, sexy red. It's like when we had our innocence and when we had our self-respect. You understand what I'm
right.
saying? We can't get
Mhm.
that
Right. Exactly. They have too many
in
vices.
America. Not worried that something to them. You understand
So,
what I'm saying? And not like when we were kids, we were free. We were experiencing life.
yeah.
Like now everybody's so scared of everything. Everybody's on guard. Everybody has to have a gun now. You know what I mean? And then the shootings and all the crazy stuff that's going on. You know, so I would say bring your kids, come come because of Shakina,
So then, Four Rivers
because
God
she did
says,
it. What's that?
Four Rivers God says, yes, in many instances, we would be safer for blacks in Western countries to build communities in their own countries. If they can't do it in their own country, they probably can't do it abroad. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Crazy. Uh, let's see. Four Rivers. Do I agree with that? It depends on what kind of communities. Like, what when you say communities here, what do you mean? What are are they just are they just all black people, or is it middle class black people? Is it upper class black people? Is it lower class black people? Is it what type of black people? Because I don't want to live with all black people. I don't want them problems. So, what type of black people? Are they like-minded black people? Are there black people who are interested in Africa? What type of black people? All black people aren't just because we have the same skin color, and we don't even have the same skin color. Black people come in many shades, many shades. So we don't even come in the same color or skin color. So how can we be alike? It's more to it than just being black. And people have to realize we're people. Other than being black, we're people. And that makes us different in so many ways. Um, okay, whatever. Lady, obviously, you don't want me to know what you said because you said it in a different language. So if you want me to know what you said, you might want to say it in a language where I can understand. All right? How about that? Because we don't go up and come on here and spread rumors, especially not like that. Especially not them type of rumors. Let's see. Are these women, Miss Ebony says, are these women affiliated with one another somehow? Well, some of them belong to the same organization, which was Sisters International. They were affiliated with the same organization. Yes, their lives crossed paths. Yes. All of their lives have crossed paths at one time or another. Yes. Yes. So that's why I said they don't even care. These women over in the Gambia are not doing nothing to try to better this situation, but they don't even know who's next. They don't even know who's next. They could be next. They don't even know. This doesn't look like this is stopping anytime soon. Why would it? Why would it stop anytime soon? I'm feeling great. Something is being done. Yeah, it's got something has to be done. Something has to be done. This can't just keep going on. Miss Stephanie says, hi, everybody have a blessed Sunday. I think there will be, what's this say? Makeshift justice. Hmm. Yeah, that's what people are saying, y'all, that they're scared that this is going to be makeshift justice, that this is going to be justice to keep us quiet, that this isn't going to be the real justice. This person is just going to be the fall guy because we want this over, because we don't want the Brits to be mad because one of their citizens just was murdered, unalived in our country and thrown away like a piece of trash. This is what they did in Ghana. This is just what they did with the Salter sisters in Ghana. It was over. They caught the dude and it was over. But the community in Ghana was not going for it. They said no. There was more to it than this. They were involved in a land dispute. They had just won the case. All right, Crazy, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Uh, Mr. Wayne says, I will say this: melanated American women need to quit running to these African countries alone without a support system. It is very dangerous. It is not a utopia. That's nonsense. Be wise, lady. So he kind of agrees with what you've been saying, that we should not be in these countries alone. Global African says y'all should have listened to Quasi a long time ago. He's been giving good advice for years, but nobody heard him. No, they were too busy trying to shut him down. Yeah, they're too busy. That's what they do over there, though. That when they find out that you got some kind of skill or you got some kind of charisma, they will gang up on you to shut you down. And that's what you see, they continue to do that to Quasi. If they would have followed Invest Relocate Africa, will we be having these conversations? No. Because those ladies, uh, Audrey, she was with Invest Relocate Africa. She stayed at Elvin's B&B. She had no problems until she left. Until she went out listening to these women, get away from him. He's a scammer. I'm sure that's what they were saying. Get out on your own. And then look what happens. Then they get her and she gone. Miss Beverly, New Quasi, Invest Relocate Africa. Same situation. She gets scammed a couple of times. She get out on her own because they telling her this is what you need to do. You don't need to be with him. He's just they make sure they tell everybody he's a scammer. Anybody who's new to that, they don't guide you towards Crazy Boy. They misguide you. I told you where they told me to go. They told me to stay at Tamales down there with all the tourists so I could get involved in their little witchcraft stuff, so I could get involved with their little bumpsters, so I could be involved in their little sick lives that they have in the Gambia. But this person is exactly right. They don't want to hear anybody who's telling the truth because they're all in this.
That's what it is. That's what the situation is. And I think the unfortunate thing is that we're not accustomed to working together. Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. We're not accustomed to working together. So if like we had Juliet and she was like the so-called leader. However, she's a person.
Hmm.
So she has her own concept of, you know, building her brand, building who she is and what she want to be. But she's been blessed, God gave her the talent to be the voice, to be a voice, and he gives many of us our talents.
Hmm.
However, we all have a talent. So
Right,
I'll come and I say, okay, I can help put together processes and systems that will allow us to collaborate as a collective. It's not a lot, you know. First we need to come together and we need to have our own properties where people can come, and that way we're spending our dollar back in our community. Okay.
right.
So that's what it's about. And then we can provide a place for you to come that you don't have to worry about if somebody's
Yes,
going to put something in your tea or coffee or your meal,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
We all have the same interests, and then no, and then you don't have to worry about you know dealing with the wrong type of person because you have an emotional relationship with you. You build a relationship with somebody, and they tell you, "Hey, my uncle, my auntie, my cousin has land."
Right.
It's hard for you to say, "Nah, that's all right," and this person done helped you come over. So we have a lot of these false commitments too. So it's a lot going on there when you're a consumer and you're just looking to spend your money and you're doing everything on an emotional basis.
Right.
And I think that's what, that's a part of this big beast that has consumed us as a people,
Hmm.
that we're consumers having trillions of dollars in spending power and wasting our money. So as some of that spill over into Africa, it's just a blessing that we're living in a time where we can have a conversation and you have people here on the ground, as tragic as it may be. There's plenty of sisters that are losing their lives over in America every single day, domestic violence and all other
Yeah.
types of
Yeah.
things taking place. Though it do hurt to see just this short period of time, and then it would make one question, hey, listen, we're seeing numbers like that of the states or even worse. You understand what I'm saying? Any intelligent person would see that. So then we would take like an investigation. Okay, how many of these situations were situations where people actually got involved with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
How many situations was people that, or innocent people that were taken advantage of? You
Right.
understand what I mean? So being able to understand what's on the ground, but I wouldn't want to, you know, tell anybody, hey, do not come to Africa. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? This is where you need to be. This is where you need to come. It's safe. I would trust my family, any member of my family over here to go out and to enjoy Africa, to walk around. In the Gambia, you can walk down streets, you can get lost. Nobody's gonna mug you, nobody's gonna kill you. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't want anybody to that's looking on at this, as tragic as it may be, think that it's not safe over here. What we're seeing is we're seeing certain types of patterns where people may be more vulnerable, and that's people who are basically. Veronica was living by herself, correct?
Yes, she was. Uh-huh.
Veronica was by herself. Audrey had someone,
Yeah.
you know. She had someone, however, it was just, I don't think there was many people that was a part of that equation,
No, it
you
wasn't.
know. I think Shakina was living by herself. I'm not 100% sure, but I never saw Shakina with anybody. And I used to be like, Dad, all the time. I'd be like, this sister out here, she's working, she's organized, she's diligent, but she's making it happen by herself. You know, it's unfortunate because her effort could go to benefit 10 times more people if we can collaborate and work together.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You
Yes.
know, like, yeah, to a point to whereas, we're seeing, it's like I was speaking to a sister in Sicily, and she was saying, hey, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. How people are scared to come over to Africa. We got this big cultural fear of Africa, that if we come over here, that we will lose our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the as a result of who we have become culturally, because any other culture, they have areas where you come, Chinatown, you know, little Mexico, whatever. They have, when you come here, the Indians, they already have it set up where they have their community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Chinese have it set up like that. The Lebanese, they have huge compounds
Mm-hmm.
with like 3 and 4 huge houses on them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I mean, they're living good because they have all, they have all of their resource focused in a particular area. They don't have to worry about food because they're feeding the country. They don't have to worry about furniture because they're importing all the furniture. The Lebanese, the Indians bringing in all the food, you know,
Now let me
the China.
let's read this comment
Mhm.
from Princess because this ties into what you're saying. Princess says, if we don't love each other, ain't nobody gonna love or respect us. Now, see, that's the biggest problem that I see is that we don't love each other as a people. We don't look out for each other as a people. And this is the problem that we keep running to. If we moved as a people who loved and respected each other, especially in other countries, then we wouldn't have these problems because we wouldn't be moving as independent units trying to outdo each other. So Stephanie says the bottom line, it appears that Africans really don't like it nor want us there. Okay, Quasi, what do you say about that?
No, not at all. That's not the case. They adore us. They love us. They love our culture. They love who we are. They want to be a part of us. They want to be like us. You understand what I'm saying? That's 80% of the the viewpoint of most of the people when we go into this country. The Black Americans are the most emulated, culture of people on the planet Earth.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
So
See our
ever
culture.
since I've been here, like I said, I mean, I get more, it's more love and more humanity here than it is in the States. I've been around, I've saw a lot. I see, and you have families here. Like
Yeah.
one, if you wanted to get married here, you have to. It's a process to that.
Mhm.
Okay, you have to have, as a man, I would have to have two people go to the father and make a request on my behalf to marry his daughter. Okay, just think about it. None of that's going down in the U.S. None of that's going down in the U.S. You understand what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
lost that so damn long ago. Ain't nobody alive can remember when the last time something like that happened. Somebody came and asked their father to
Right.
marry their daughter.
Now,
You
Princess said,
understand? So,
yeah, yeah, I do.
so
Princess said,
it
go ahead.
hmm?
Princess
That's
said,
a part of. Hmm.
Princess says again, the U.S. does next to nothing about the thousands of black women unalived every year. And that's true. That's
What
true.
we gonna do about it? They
Exactly.
they they making sure they a part of their elite Illuminati system is human sacrifice. And they got a lot of stuff going on. Americans they're hunters. They have a history of hunting. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
Okay, wait, you got to clarify something. This lady, she thinks that you want people to sleep on the floors when they come to Africa when you said lay on the floor. Okay, so she says, Quasi, I don't think people are trying to be disrespectful when they don't want to sleep on the floor, etc. If they don't want to live that, wait a minute, if they don't want to life there, if they don't want to life there, they need to go through a training program to prepare for them. I'm not sure what she meant, but she's saying that she's not trying
It's
to be.
not disrespectful because a person don't want to sleep on the floor.
Yes, they don't want to sleep on. She's saying
Let,
we don't
let
want
me
to come.
let me let me let me share my experience. And when I say sleep on the floor, I'm talking about like maybe a mat on the floor. But the reason why I say that is that when I came over for the first time, I stayed with a family in Senegal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was very cramped quarters in there, and it definitely wasn't to the standard. I'm used to staying at the Marriott, Hilton resorts, and all of this stuff. I've traveled all over, me and my first wife. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, you really have to humble yourself. Like I was like, if my first wife was here, she'd be like, "Yo, get us a room at Marriott. We're not staying here with the family."
Mm-hmm.
What this allowed me to do, I stayed in the village down in Casamance for 3 days, and we had to lay on the floor with a mat. It was a house. It was built, but some of the walls weren't plastered.
Mm-hmm.
They just had. It's like the country.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the roof. There's a tin roof there. If you had to use the bathroom, you had to go outside and use the bathroom, right? But what it feels like is like nothing here changed from the time they took us. When you go out into the country and it's just beautiful. You can see the stars and you see all of the trees and you see the goats and you see the cows and there's people there, but it's like going back a couple hundred years, and we have to go back. You understand what I'm saying? Most people probably wouldn't want to stay out there and they have to go use the outhouse and poop down a hole.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and even some places here, in the airports, they don't have the toilets. They just have the hole. You have to stoop down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some of these bathrooms here, a lot of people from the West, they'll get a whiff of that and be like, "Hey, hey, 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 this is really a shithole over
I
there,
get it. I don't have to
right?"
go. Yeah, you just lose it. You
But
lose.
if you can get by that, trust me, there's places over here that's just that 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 are very, very luxurious and nice
Mm-hmm.
at your budget. So you can have the AC, you can have the nice house, you can have all of that. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? But we're not coming over here to have that. We're coming over here to erase all of that stuff. Okay, we can have it. It could be nice, but not at the expense of my brother, not at the expense of my sister.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Let's
Mm-hmm.
all have it. Let's all have this niceness. But if we're coming straight from, dog eat dog, and we're coming over here, we can't unite in the States. We're not going to unite here.
No, and that's what she was
You
saying.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Lady London is saying the Senegambia Strip is the worst place. Yes, it is, and that's where they're directing us to go, to the worst place ever. So you can get up in that system. And Global African says if you hang in the hoods of America, you'll run into people that didn't want you there either. You're right. Because they're not going to like you because they're going to think, oh, you think you're better than me. What you even doing here? And they're going to have a whole attitude against you. So you know what? That's right. You're going to run into them type of people no matter where you are, really. No matter where you are, you're going to have those situations. So this person is absolutely 100% right. So let me get this next comment up here. Hold on, y'all. So I agree with that. You know that wherever you go, you're going to run into these problems. And that was, let's get this one.
Yo,
Okay.
listen, like we don't have to come here and build a community. It's
No.
already a community here. All we have to do is come and offer up our talents. It's not about coming over, and it'll be nice to build some housing and things together. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
My son is coming
Yeah, it
over.
would be
Hey, what do
nice
you guys got?
because when I
It'll be
went
nice to
there,
do that, but
yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice.
but
But what I
the idea is,
go ahead, crazy.
yeah, the idea is that we're able to come over and you know make it easier for the next person coming behind. So if I'm over here now, right, and you're coming over here, like my people come, I'll say, okay, you want to stay at a resort, or do you want to stay at a at one of our spots? You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? When you
Right.
go inside the resorts, that might be good for a few turnover there. You understand what I'm saying? You don't
Right.
want to be in a room and have your family in a room where people are coming and they having sex.
Mm-hmm.
The energy there crazy. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what all the hotels and the resorts, all of that stuff up
Yeah.
there. That's what that's all about. That's that type of
Exactly.
energy.
That's what I'm
So if
saying.
I'm your brother and I'm here, I should be able to say, hey sister, you can come stay at my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or tell
People
me
will
don't
come to
stay
stay
up
with me
here.
for free
Yeah.
and with all of the support. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, you
Mm-hmm.
trying to come on, come on. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I was,
Exactly.
we was building together, making it happen, and then like I said, you had people that got jealous of what we was doing. Well, you had a whole community of people just hating and jealous because they feel like that it's taking away something from them. If you got your shit going on, you shouldn't be worried about what we doing.
Right.
But if you sitting there lying, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna build a community. Everybody gonna be able to stay on my community, stay on my land," and then that's not what it is, then of course you're gonna try to attack somebody else because you're the liar.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that's what we've been seeing.
And we
We've
don't
seen
want
a
people
whole
to
bunch
know.
of people here
Exactly.
lying, and when they seen people that was the truth, they just lost their mind
And that's
and
what
like, "Hey,
happened.
well, I'm gonna burn
Yeah.
down all this shit." Yep.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. When they see people who are the truth, they get mad and they go out on a full war to stop you. A full
Oh,
war
they
to
go
discredit you.
crazy.
Yeah, they do. And they make up stuff, they make up
But if
lies.
you doing what you need to do and not you're not out there focusing on what another person doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through. I think we're almost finished with these comments. Uh, so they're saying that's true. The U.S. does. Okay, so we got through all the comments. Now, I want to
America
make
hasn't
sure.
done anything about the tens of millions of black women that they've killed to make America what it is.
Right. Now, okay, so that's what we came on here to talk about today. I wanted to just come on here and give you guys an opportunity to talk about what we were hearing, what the latest was. Oh God, a whole bunch more on here. I don't think people are trying. Okay, so we wanted you guys to talk about what the latest was, what we were hearing about the arrest. Okay, people don't want this to just be an scapegoat. You know, like they don't want this to be like we're just going to arrest somebody just to make this go away. They want the person who's guilty of this to be arrested. Okay, so we're just going to have to keep paying attention to what's going on. Keep paying attention to the stories
Like,
that are on the
yeah,
ground.
I think we definitely want to. I think we definitely want to find out the whole truth of the situation. And like I said, all the evidence, what all the evidence suggests, they're saying that they found the guy and he had 1,000 pounds on him, and they had a dispute or whatever the case may be, and
Hmm.
it's just
So
sad,
they
sad,
found the
sad.
guy.
Another
The
level.
guy had 1,000 pounds on him. So they figured
Yeah,
that where did he get the 1,000 pounds from? And he said he probably got it from working from her. Yeah, but I don't know. Let's just see what happens because they've already made up in their minds that that's him, that he did it. I'm telling y'all, the police done got that. That's the person. They feel like that's the person who did it. He got money on him. He was probably the last
yep,
person who seen her. You know,
yep.
and who knows? I don't even know. I don't
He's
even know.
cooperating,
Yep, they said he's cooperating and everything. But what does that mean? He's cooperating. Go to
and
Cynthia.
I must say again that a lot of people from Senegal, the girl that got stabbed and
Hmm.
killed, the Gambian sister, the man that killed her, he was from Senegal.
Wow.
So you have now you know who to deal with. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As sisters, you already have to be careful, but they're saying a lot of the foreign nationals are coming in and committing a lot of the crimes. They're saying this
Oh,
guy was from Sierra Leone or
Senegalese.
Nigeria.
Yeah, that's what they. I heard both of those. I heard he was from Sierra Leone, then I heard he was Nigerian. All right, so this person says, I'm Tanzanian. Witch doctors' divinations are prohibited in Tanzania. It causes conflicts, so government banished it because some deceive people for personal gain and create confusions. Only allowed to sell remedies. So she said that those traditional doctors are banned in Tanzania. Divination is banned because people were lying, twisting things, and using things to basically control people to get people to do what they want them to do. Okay, let's start at the bottom and go back up because I keep getting confused. All right, so let's go with this one. This person says,
Right, right. I know. Did you see that Netflix show where, they were selling women into prostitution in Nigeria? They'll go to the Marabou and say, "Hey, I want to go to the UK or whatever." I
oh
forget the
yeah,
name of that movie. It was on
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
been a big deal in Nigeria, in Edo State, that they basically
right.
do some kind of magic on these women, and they have to go and become prostitutes, and they got to pay this money back, and they won't leave
Yep.
because they're scared that these gods are going to get them. So that's a
Yeah.
big deal in Edo State. So this person says it's a network. Listen, y'all, they train each other on how to target vulnerable. I believe this. I told y'all I believe this. It's a network. They train each other on how to target vulnerable African Americans. American money is driving them to this. Its value over Dalasi currency drives obsession for getting our women. Yep, I believe it. I believe that they're trained on how to do this. Crazy, what do you think? You got any input about that? Anybody?
I'll say this, right?
Hmm.
When we come over, there's like a mindset where they have what they call like, seasonals over here. So
Yeah.
you have a segment of, women that would go and date, you know, white men. It's basically like they sugar daddy, and they only come over here maybe once or twice a year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of like a come up for them.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that would probably apply to, you know, anybody that's coming from the West and that's coming into the countries here. You'll definitely be seen as an opportunity.
Hmm.
And, unfortunately, people don't see opportunity in the right way. It's always in a way where, you know, uh, they want to take advantage of it.
Right. So this lady said,
Even though you looking out too, you could be coming over looking out and making it happen for them and things like that. Then they want more. You understand what I'm
yeah.
saying? And,
Hmm.
and that's where the plot thickens, and then that's what brings us to where we are right now
Right.
with these mysteries
Right.
and this blatant murder.
So the dove says it might be the one person you least expect, and it seems like it always is in these cases. It's the person you least expect. For Black says my wrench is with phone charging. My wrench is with the phone charging. Oh, okay. She's telling me her phone is charging. Okay. Global African says there's many immigrants in the Gambia, illegal and legal. Yeah, there sure is. Because the tourists are there. That's the opportunity for money. For Black,
Yeah, you can just cross the border. I mean, it's not like the U.S. We don't really live on border countries outside of Mexico,
right.
right? You got three or four countries bordering each other. There's many points of entry that you can come
Yes.
in.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you have people going back and forth, and
Right.
that might be undocumented, just like the U.S., but even more so here.
Exactly. The dove is saying, she's saying that maybe it's not him. She thinks maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not him. But where did he get the £1,000 from? That's a lot of money to have in your pocket. Uh, yes, hopefully they will do a proper investigation. Yeah, I pray they do a proper investigation. But in cases like these, they want to hurry up and close them. Wow. Global TV says, yes. How? Exactly. Where did he get that money from? Exactly. He is cooperating, meaning he will most
Yeah,
likely
there's a lot
tell
of people close to
working,
this situation, so
who
there's
he
a
was working for. Okay. So hopefully he's going to tell if somebody else was involved. I'm coming over with money and I'm sleeping on dirt. Y'all sound insane. Well, I don't,
what's
that's,
that?
first of all, urban economics, you never, urban economist, you never heard me say that I sleep like that. I don't sleep like that, honey, when I go over there. I don't live like he said that your money determines what you want. If you have the money, you can live any way you want to. So when I go to Africa, I never slept on the floor. I've never slept on the floor. Like my niece says, I always stay in a mansion. Okay, so I'm not sure why you think people are going to Africa and paying all that money to sleep on a dirt floor. He said when he relocated there, he stayed with a family there and he lived like the family lived. Okay. So these are choices that we make. But no, nobody's going to Africa. So please don't put that out there that people are going to Africa paying thousands of dollars and we're sleeping on dirt floors. No, the houses that we stay in are bigger and better than the houses in the United States. They're mansions. Okay. So, no, that's insane that you thought people were doing that. Do I look like I sleep on a dirt floor? No, I don't sleep on a dirt floor. I don't sleep on the floor, period. So he had British cash on him. Honey, yes. They said £1,000, honey. They didn't say Delassie. They said pounds. Yeah, I think he did it. I think he did it. I think he smiled in her face. I think he conned her to get there. I think he told her it was $1,000 for something, and then he got there, and then oh Lord, there is an underhanded network spiritual warfare marabouts, things we don't know about. They have networks. We need to inform the American embassy and safeguard ourselves and educate ourselves. But see, the thing is, we need to stop going to these marabouts. We need to stop dealing with these. Need to stop going to Africa trying to become a witch. We need to quit going to Africa trying to curse each other. We need to quit going to Africa doing all of that. What is the embassy going to do? That's their culture to have traditional doctors. What we need to do is simply stop going, stop participating, stop being jealous of each other. They blackballed Shakina. Nobody was dealing with her. That's why she was alone all the time. If they hadn't blackballed Shakina, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe she would have had her sister girlfriend that could have rode around with her. That she could have called and said, "Hey, I got to ride out to my house. You want to go with me?" I would have said, "I sure do, girl. Come get me." You don't need to be going out there by yourself and you got money on you. Well, who was she going to call when they kicked her out the group? Who was she going to call? Like Crazy said, she was always on her own. I told you when I went to the shop, I sat in her shop and I thought to myself, she's in here all by herself, all day, every day. That can't be safe. There was no man there. There was no man that came there. All I saw was her stuff, her personal things over in the corner where she kept the personal things. There was no man there. Maybe if they would have stopped all this division and all this jealousy, maybe, just maybe, Shakina would still be here. Because dude wouldn't have got a chance to get her by herself. Maybe, just maybe, Anja would have been here if they would have cared enough to call when they saw her having her mental breakdown. Maybe, just maybe, Veronica would still be here. If they would have said, "Veronica, this ain't the United States. You better quit going in the store, throwing them people's food around." Maybe, just maybe, Miss Beverly would still be here. If somebody would have told her, "There's no good medical health care in the United States, in Gambia. If you're sick like that, you might want to stay in the United States. You can come visit, but don't stay for long because you're sickly." Maybe, but according to them, Beverly came here. She came to the Gambia to pass away, to spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars only to pass away. And we're supposed to believe that. Maybe, just maybe, if they weren't telling people to go stay down at the Senegambia Strip, maybe if they weren't guiding you to the bumpsters, maybe if they weren't guiding you to that whole bumpster lifestyle, maybe, just maybe, these ladies would still be here. And people were telling the truth. And people were telling the truth. If they were truly guiding us in love, instead of standing back, I'm going to guide them in the wrong direction. Then I'm going to stand back and I'm going to watch this train wreck. I'm going to see how long it takes her to hook up with a bumpster. I'm going to see how long it's going to take this bumpster to take everything she got. I'm going to see how long before she be
Watch
broke
out! Don't come on inside.
and begging for something to eat, begging for a place to stay. Because that's what happened. That's exactly what's happening over there. And that's what happened over there. That's exactly what happened over there. I was a victim of this, but survived. They love us, yes, but once you are targeted, the love turns to obsession. And if you don't give them a marriage, if you change your mind, you don't give them money. They will change their wait. If you change your mind or don't give them money. So you saying that this person was pretending like they was in love with you, and then when you stopped giving them money and you didn't want to get married to them, it changed to an obsession. Obsession. Is that what you're saying? Kind of explain that a little bit more, if you don't mind. Okay, Crazy. I'm just trying to go through here and get all these comments out of here.
Okay, yeah, sure.
This back to Africa stuff seems like a cult at this point. Now, some of it does seem like a cult. How they try to indoctrinate you into this crazy lifestyle that they know ain't working for nobody over there, but they keep leading you down this path of destruction. That part does seem like a cult. There's an unaliver on the loose, and we're blaming each other. Now, if there's an unaliver on the loose, it's got to be a spirit because these women were not connected like that. None of these six
No,
women were connected like that, where the same unaliver could get to each one of them. No, it
that
wasn't.
that that even makes it, like I said, that makes it deeper. You understand what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
we are attracting unalivers. What the hell are we doing
thank you.
to stick out like this? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm,
With
Jesus.
these tragic ends. What are we doing?
Now, somebody did tell me they feel like this is some type of ritual, some type of ritual, rituals to unalive these women is some type of ritual, but I don't see it yet. And if it's
Not
and if it's
that's
go
that's
ahead.
not the problem. Like two of the situations were very dangerous situations. To anytime you challenge the system, especially when you start talking about sex cults and exposing, like I said, me and Art, we just had a brief encounter with a situation where a white man had a little girl, and Art saw something inside where the ATM was, and she started filming. However, within 10 minutes, the situation became very volatile because he was with a Gambian guy, and Art was filming the Gambian guy too. And the Gambian guy, like, don't put me up there, and they forced us to delete. They was trying to pull us off the car and everything.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? I had to get over Art and protect Art because the white man was on one side, the Gambian guy was on the other side trying to get Art phone. So we got on the side with the white guy, and I had to take the phone from Art and show them that I delete the footage. You understand? Because the Gambian guy didn't want to be on the camera and be exposed. And then the whole community, as they came, they're gonna sympathize with the Gambian brother. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then he starts saying, hey, these American people, these black Americans think they can just come over here, and you understand what I'm saying, sister?
Hmm.
I'm telling you what I know and what I've seen. So it's like, we have to be very, conscious not to offend the culture and not to be too radical and trying to, bring about change, and definitely doing it from a point of a person you know, uh, whose mental stability may be in question. You understand? Addressing the issues is nothing wrong with creating exposés and addressing things that people have done. But when you start getting deep into it and you start getting into the wrong crowds,
That's
then
what. Yes,
yes, right.
that's
I think that, because that's what Sister Veronica, both of them would say,
yes.
Aja
They
of
got the
Africa,
wrong
and
people. Yes,
huh? They
they
was
got
like,
the
hey,
wrong
I'm in a
people.
den of devils. That's what
Yes,
Veronica said.
yes,
She's around a whole bunch of
yes,
wickedness.
yes. And
Yeah.
so did Anja. So did
And
Anja.
Aja, yeah, she said everywhere they seemed like, well, everywhere she was going or whatever she was doing or wherever she was at, she was in that energy.
And she
You
wasn't
understand what I'm saying?
an urban economist. She was not talking. See again, people come on YouTube and just spew nonsense. This is just based on no fact. This is just your opinion, okay? You basing this on just what you think and what you feel, okay? Because for one, if you would have took the time to look at one video about these women who passed away, you would have known. Who else are we going to blame for this? The Gambians, the Africans? How can we blame them when we didn't look out for our own people? Each one of these women went over there and cut themselves off from the rest of their family. How can we blame the Gambians for that? How can we blame the Africans for that? You don't ever go to Africa and cut yourself off and be a lone island. How can we? How was that Africa's fault? And how is that making an excuse for Africa? No, we need to take accountability for what we do. We go to Africa
The,
and we move all wrong. All
you
wrong.
know, the
We go to
urban
Africa and
urban
move.
economist, he hit the nail on the head. It is a cult,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Now
moving
that
over
part is
there.
correct. Now that part, I believe that that part is a cult. But to say there's a unaliver on the loose that's going around
No,
unaliving these women, and we're blaming each other, and we're making excuses for Africa, that's a whole big lie. Now the cult part you might be
right,
right,
right.
but the rest of that, who's made one excuse for Africa? Who's Africa is a continent. What is going on here is people doing this stuff to each other, sir. So please, whatever issue you have with Africa, it is not my issue. Okay. And I don't have to make excuses for anybody. I'm going to give you the facts and you're going to do with it what you want to. So nobody, correction, nobody's making excuses. We're holding people account. Grown people need to be held accountable for their actions. Point blank, period. Crazy. If people want to live in Africa and don't have to live communal, and not have to live communal, they need to have a lot of money. Even if you got a lot of money, you're still in trouble. Independent living is expensive there. It is. But even if you live by yourself and you got a lot of money, you still setting yourself up for the okie doke. Period. You're gonna get taken advantage. You're gonna get taken advantage of. Period. You cannot live and move like you living in the suburbs in the United States, in Africa. You can't do that. Shakina was forced to live like that because these people blackballed her. So she was forced to live like that. Anja, Anja probably after a while, Anja quit dealing with them. So she was by herself too. Veronica, she was by herself. We knew she was by herself. No matter how them people wanted to pretend like they was her friend and they was all together, we knew Veronica was over there dealing with all this by herself. Beverly and Audrey, they got with some devils. Mary, she was with a devil too. Now,
You understand what I'm saying? You know, the mystery is not that deep. The
no, it's
mystery
not.
is not even that deep. You
Not. All
understand
you
what
gotta
I'm
do is
saying?
get the videos. You can figure it out.
Yep, you did all the research. You already see. I mean, we can figure it all out, you know. And you know, like I said, but this one with Shakina, it's just like I think this one hit hard because, you know, first of all, Shakina was, like I said, for me, she was the champion of Gambia. She really was. You know, she had everything that we would want in a leader or someone to lead us, and she laid the foundation and opened doors only to have something like this happen to her over something so small. That shows us that, you know, our money, you know, it's just like the states. You know, you get killed over, you know, just $5. You know what I mean? And it's just she was just too good for this world. That's the only way I could see it. You know, and God had to
Oh,
have a
very, very.
greater role for her in the continuation of what needed to take place, man. Because it's no justification for that. She didn't deserve that.
No, no. And like I said, if they wouldn't have exballed, blackballed her from the community, maybe she would have had a friend that could ride around with her. Maybe she would have had a friend that could do things with her because that's what they do to you when they
No,
don't
we would
like.
have we could have had a community, and
Yes,
then, you know, like art didn't have to do anything. Art just stayed. She was going through a very difficult time in her life, and she still was able to create one of the biggest and fastest growing brands here in the Gambia
right.
because she had the team with her.
Yes,
She would stay there and she would tell me, "Hey, Quasi, I'm going through it. You know, you just take your team out there, let them handle." And we was dealing with all of the business.
yes,
You know, she would come out sometimes and hold it down, but we were doing 80% of the work.
yep. Now,
That, you
Urban
know,
Economist says again, he says he's still confused. So why don't y'all have that? Y'all been over there supposedly building. So he's talking about the community. So again, this person does not know anything about the Gambia. They just hopped on here and thought they would comment. So the Gambia community was destroyed by two dusty divas who took it apart before it could get started good. Okay. And they haven't recovered to build that community because when the person tries to come back to build the community, the same people always shoot them down. Okay. So no, there's no community over there. And Black Acres of the Gambia lied and told everybody they were going to build a community after they took hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and they built nothing. They built nothing. They didn't even finish that house that shell that they live in that they call a house. So these people have been doing nothing but lying. And when people try to do something, they destroy the people who try to do something. Like Shakina. I told you what she was doing. She was helping people fight for their land. And you see what they did to her. They kicked her out the community. Nobody dealt with her. So she's on her own trying to make this happen in Africa, and she's a woman. And you want us to believe that these people care about each other. That's why there's no community in the Gambia, sir. Next time, why don't you do some research before you come on my show? Or don't comment until you know what you're talking about. And then you trying to put people down. How are you going to try to put people down and you don't even know what you're talking about? How do them two go together? They don't. Don't do that. If you got questions, ask. Don't try to humiliate people when you don't even got the facts. Jeannie says there's nothing more humbling than to have to use a hole for the bathroom. And see, I never even used the hole for. Oh yes, I did in Cameroon. When I was in Cameroon, I did use the hole for the bathroom. That was the only time.
He a jokester.
Uh,
Yeah,
a
some of
man
it. I
on
mean,
a 3 bucket. I don't know what that means.
because we not used to that raw methane gas coming up out of that hole. And you try to
Yeah.
smoke a cigarette in that situation, you might get blown up.
Oh, for it's see now. See that's what I mean. I've never even been in that situation. I've been there 12 times, sir. So that's what I mean, urban
Right,
economists.
right.
Everything is different. Everybody's experience is different. Crazy.
You don't
Yes,
have to.
values.
You don't have to. You like I said, you can come over here and you can live 3 or 4 times better than you're living in the States with the same budget. You know, but
So
however, being able to go out, it's like a sabbatical. A brother was telling me, Quasi, you need to come out. You need to come out. You need to come out. And it just brings you back home. It brings you back home for real when you're able to go out in the country and do a sabbatical.
Four Rivers says that Quasi, yes, values in America have gone down, but Black Americans need to fix their values before they attempt to go to other countries. Yes, we do need to fix our values. But we can still go to other countries while we fixing our values. We don't need to stay here because you're never going to be fixed. You're always developing. You're a human. The community is a dynamic place. It's not stagnant. It does not stop moving. It's constantly developing. It's constantly changing.
It's plenty of people over here. There's plenty of people over here being successful, but there's a vast number that are losing money on land, losing money on investment. You know what I mean? Losing their life. Okay,
Yep.
so it's not for everybody, and this is it's not going to stop. Because that's just the nature of this beast that we're looking at. You know, the only thing that we could do, those who are the innovators, those who see ideas, right? Because now we have to build economic fortresses. We got to be a part of the future corporations. If you're just a consumer, you're not going to make it.
Right.
You're not going to make it. That's what Africa is for. It's for the innovator, for those who create ideas and products and services, to feed the masses.
Hmm.
That opportunity will exist because wealth have to be maintained. Less, a lesser amount of people will have access to it, but it will exist. A far more, a greater number, the majority of people are going to suffer because of the lack of resources. So we just want to be able to plan and create a sustainable uh, safety net for ourselves.
The dove says
Those who are
where
smart.
the dove says where I'm from. When we go to visit, a lot of us sleep on the floor, and we had fun on the floor. The floor is the best. Yeah, when I was little, we used to sleep on the floor. When we would go over to our cousin's house, we would have my grandmother would call them pallets, and we would make a
Yep,
pallet.
palette. Yep,
Yeah, we would make a
palette.
pallet on the floor,
Yeah.
and it was fun. She's right, it was fun. But have I done that in
like
Africa? No, I have never done that in Africa. But
like a
I
lot
have,
of like a lot of compounds, right? Everybody hang out
yeah,
outside during the nighttime,
because it's
and then
hot
they
on the
usually have
inside.
like a
Yes,
platform where people just lay down under the night sky, man, and it's just
yeah.
beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's who we are as a culture.
So no cap says some are jealous of us, and I was there with my husband and got sick, and my sister-in-law told me that somebody wanted to eat me. What? What? No cap. Explain that. No cap. Are you capping? I think you capping right now, girl. Who wanted to eat you? What is you talking about, girl?
Yeah, shit.
Are you capping?
You
No
trying
cap.
to get some spotlight like Michael Epps.
Right. Sleeping on the floor is
You
a
trying to get on his
metaphor.
club Shay Shay.
Be humble. So in our movement says sleeping on the floor is a metaphor to be humble. Oh, it's a metaphor to be humble. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we just ain't trying
You
to
know,
break.
we're not saying you have to stay on there. However, going out to the country
Yeah, you will if
and
you go out to the
experience.
country. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that there.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the mattress on the floor. It ain't no.
Okay. Let's see. Sleeping in the floor only happens. Yep, she's right. Mostly in Mystic says it's in the and it is. It's in the village. Some people do it in the urban areas, but mostly it's in the village. Some people do it in the urban areas, but like she says. Okay. In the States, we have an open enemy. We keep our guards up. Over there, we assume that it's all love and our guards go down, making us more vulnerable to those who don't like us, which is true. You have to keep your guard up. Even though you think these people love you, even though you think you're in paradise, even though you think you're home, you still have to keep your guard up because everybody does not look at you like you're home. Everybody does not look at you like you're the same as them. People look at you like you are dollar signs, okay? And you got to realize that. You have to realize that. That is the reality of life when you go to developing countries. Now, if you go to England, they probably won't be looking at. I'm sure they won't be looking at you like that. But if you go to a developing country, oh yeah, you're going to be looked at like that. These single women have to leave this Western attitude in the West. Yes, that's the big problem. You can't disrespect men in Africa like you do in America and Western countries. No, you cannot. And if you do, you're going to have a big problem on your hand. Crazy, did you want to comment on that?
I mean, we've heard it echoed so many times. I think that everybody understands that it's the Western mindset that is giving us problems, even within our community. Like the sisters that are coming over. This whole sisterhood idea,
Hmm.
and there's no balance to it.
No, it's
There
not.
has to be a brotherhood component, especially here. And the
And I thought
brotherhood component, but
no, I thought they were lesbians. I really did because they don't even seem like they like men. And I'm like, why are y'all all over there if you don't like men and you just want to hang out with each other?
I think
I don't get
we're
that.
living. We're living in a time the black woman had to be strong for 400 years,
Mhm.
right? Now it's time for the black man to be strong, okay? Because look where our sisters having to be strong. Look at where it brought us to.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at our community. Just look around.
Exactly.
I ain't gotta tell anybody. And
Exactly.
we can try to gloss it over with all of our achievements that we made in that country, but our people and who we are have passed away. You understand? Our cities are war zones.
Yeah.
Our babies are getting killed, straight bullets. They got the chemical warfare going on where they're killing our families with fentanyl. You understand what I'm saying? It's just so much. The laundry list of devices for our death is just so long. This is the
Stephanie,
only place where we can get away without having that mark for death over us.
Well, we
You
thought
understand what I'm
so.
saying?
Well, that's what they thought when they went there, but we see that's not the case. Not when it comes to black women, single black women. That is definitely not the
Well,
message.
it's an omen. It's an omen. If you
Yes,
come over here trying to, you know, come over
yes,
here and try and kick the
yes,
hornet's nest, you're gonna get stung. You
exactly.
understand what I'm saying? And
Yes,
if you come over here and you don't take the advice of people
yes,
that's here that say,
yes,
hey, do not go that route, and
right.
then you go that route and you get knocked over your head, that's a lot of what's happening too. You
Yes,
understand what I'm saying? People are getting the warnings and things like that. And the crazy thing is it spreads like cancer. You can have one person that, you say, hey, listen, if you go off in that direction right there, it's gonna just be a trickle effect.
right.
Okay.
Yes,
Because everybody, they're looking at you as a sister. So you got to have some type of accountability now. They're looking at you as a sister, but as a sister, you have to have a brother.
right.
So as your brother,
Okay, y'all. I don't know what happened. Okay, so look, lady, London lady says the Gambians love us because Stephanie said the Africans don't like us. And are you serious? Says Stephanie. Why would you say that? And then London lady says the Gambians love us. We've been relocating there for hundreds of years. Trust and integrated into the culture. So that's what she says. Okay, yeah, we're gonna finish these comments and then we're gonna get off of here. I just wanted to give y'all a chance to talk about how you guys felt about this person who was arrested. I think they're doing their best to keep us from coming together. We wanted to talk about the person. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the arrest. I wanted to get your feelings and your thoughts. Some people think, that this is not the right guy, that they're just doing this, just to close the case real quick. Other races come together to work with each other, whether they like each other or not, and not to have for their families. We can't seem to do that. Too much selfishness and pride involved. Everyone for themselves. Yes, especially in the Gambia. That's exactly the MO there. Every man for themselves, honey. Like I said, if it wasn't like that, maybe Shakina would still be here. Maybe if they wouldn't have blackballed her from the whole community, maybe, just maybe she would still be here. Together with, yeah. And that's how we've been falling in the Gambia, divided. We don't know who's next. We don't know who's next. No, we don't know who's next. But they just sit over there and sit silent like they got something on somebody. They don't have nothing on none of us. We're not dropping like that. They are. People's homes are getting broken into, muggings, stabbings, and yeah, all this is going on over there. But they're saying nothing. We got to find this out in groups. We have to find out from Quasi that Shakina was blackballed from them. She was blackballed from them. That means they wasn't dealing with her. That means anybody who dealt with her, they got cut off too. They got cut off too. So just think, your own people did this to you. And for what? For what? We still come up with, they still want to say because she was scamming. Scamming who? The Karen lady? I'm still waiting for the Karen lady to write me back. I'm waiting for anybody to write me. If you got information that Shakina scammed you, took your money, write me. Because I'm not gonna just keep letting you people keep saying that she did this. I am not gonna let you keep saying it. I'm not gonna let you keep dirtying up her name like that. If you don't have no facts, and the only thing I've seen was from Karen. So if you don't have no more, then you need to stop. You need to stop. Because she's not here to defend herself. And you're not going to come to me with that she was a scammer when you don't have no facts other than what Karen, that whole situation with Karen, which was 3 years ago. Karen and Levi, which was 3 years ago. Which I'm still going to make a video. That's coming. That's the next thing. If I don't do a live, I'm gonna make a video. I think I schedule a live for that, but we'll see because I want to put the video clips in there of the videos. So, no, this is a big no for me. Okay, a big no for me. Nobody's blaming nothing on the Gambians. This is all us. Now, this man stealing this money from her, that was a low down, dirty dog. But once again, she shouldn't have been by herself. And why was she by herself? Because Quasi just told us they blackballed Shakina. That's why she was by herself the whole time. That's why she was always by herself. And I'm sitting there wondering why the woman is by herself. I'm one looking around the shop. Why is she in here by herself? Isn't that dangerous? Hmm. Little did I know at that time she was blackballed. Little did I know she was blackballed and the community was not allowed to talk to her. Because if you talk to somebody who's blackballed from that community, honey, they will turn on you. All right, so let's get through these last couple comments and I'm out of here. No Cap says no. No Cap says with God, if he healed me then, I would never come back to this part of Africa. I felt no way that I was from West Africa. I went, did a DNA test, and I'm 89% Native American. Okay. Um, Kiki, my feeling and thoughts are I am sad to hear that Shakina's demise. May justice be served. I think Western should avoid moving to Africa at this time. And I think so too. I think until everything calm down. But if you got family over there, that's a whole different story. But if you a single woman and you just trying to go over there, you better not be going right now. You better calm your heels. Maybe American women need to find a better place to go and not scam to create YouTube channels that are negative about their host country. Who are you talking about now? Maybe American women need to find a better place to go and not scam to create YouTube channels that are negative about their host countries. Okay, Mr. Allen, I don't feel like trying to decipher what you're saying or, try to figure out what you're talking about. So if you can't tell me who you're talking about, unfortunately, I can't really respond because I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know who you're talking about. So if you want to name names, feel free. Stop the cap, 89. Allen, stop. Now tell me who you was talking about. Crazy says, you seen the whole Negro PN campaign. Yes, I'm going to go, and that's what I'm going to talk about on my next video. Shakina and Mary RIP were best. Oh, are you serious? Uh, I wonder why Crazy didn't tell me that. Crazy, was Shakina and Mary best friends? Were they together all the time? Well, their shops were down the street from each other because Shakina's shop was down the street. But Crazy never said anything about that. Nobody's ever mentioned that except for you, Africa. And how do you know Africa? Are you there in the Gambia? Are you friends with Shakina and Mary? How do you know? You can't just come and say stuff like that, especially about two people who aren't even here. Now I can see that might be true because Shakina's shop was here. Mary's shop, I think, was up the street. So that could be true. But how, how do you know? How do you know that? How do you know that to be true? Lots of marriages happened between West Africans and British in the 50s, and they families relocated to the Gambia. Oh, okay. I'm back. Okay. These must be old. Tay Tay better be glad she got out of there given the physical altercation with the man. Yeah, it was just a matter of time for her, for real. And she know it. She know they was on her. It was just a matter of time before they got to her, honey. She would have been getting a double dose of that special seasoning. The simple answer is vocal African American women are considered the ones to be done away with. Please know that we upset their social norms. And you're right. This person is right. When you go over there single, When you go over there speaking out, when you go over there just being an American, you are upsetting the social norms over there. All right. And people don't like that. You're not even from there. Why are you disturbing these people's social norms? Uh, I tried. I'm tired of people in the chat saying he said and she said crap. If you can't say right, we don't do that over here. We don't. Who said it? Right. We don't care about he should. This is no, no, no. Please stop with all that. Right. Please stop with all that. If you can't name names, don't name it at all because we don't want to hear it. That's gossip. That is gossip. And we don't want to hear no gossip. Uh, okay, y'all. So we got all the comments. I think we got now. Black American men can't travel to Colombia. They are getting unalived over there. Okay, we know that. So we are going to end tonight. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys an opportunity to talk about these charges, to give you guys an opportunity to talk about these charges that are being brought against this person in the Gambia. Okay. Um, to be these charges that are being brought against this person in the Gambia. Okay. So what we're going to do, you guys basically said some people, they think that this is just a scapegoat pretty much, and that they just want to get a quick arrest to just, say case solved and we're done. They don't want this to turn into a big deal, which I can understand. They don't. They don't want to look bad. So of course they're going to be on it, and of course they're going to try to solve it right away. But the fact that this dude had 1,000 pounds in his pocket, yeah, he might be. He could have told Shakina something needed to be done, or could have told Shakina, some feed was 1,000 pounds. And when she got there, she realized we don't know. We don't know. We just know something very bad happened to Shakina, and that dude has 1,000 pounds behind it. That's all. How do we even know that was Shakina's money? 1,000 pounds. You're walking around with 1,000 pounds. You know how much that is? Well, they probably got $100 bills like we do, so it ain't that much. It ain't like it's Delassie. But why is she driving around with 1,000 pounds? Did he steal the money, or did somebody pay him that money? Because I told y'all, there's a video going around. I'm gonna show y'all in the next video. UN had it. And is this the guy who recorded the video? Is this the person who recorded the video of her place? Is he that person? Because if he is, she couldn't trust him at all. So these are the questions I have. Where did the 1,000 pounds come from? Did somebody give it to you to do something to her? Did you steal it from her? How did you steal it from her? And why is she walking around with 1,000 pounds on her? Unless she's coming to pay for a service to her compound, and then you just took the money. These are all the questions that I have. These are all the questions that I have. And did you think you were going to get away with it? You couldn't have possibly thought that. There's no way you could have thought you were going to get away with this. So I got a lot more questions now than I do answers. I'm glad he's in custody. They said he's cooperating. The family says they're not going to stop until they get justice, and I don't blame them. I do not blame them. So don't forget, on that note, please don't forget to write your letters to the U.S. Embassy about the 5 American women who have passed away in the Gambia suspiciously and unexpectedly. Please ask them to investigate. And also, please write the British Embassy and ask them to investigate what's going on with Shakina. Please make sure justice is served for Shakina. Shakina was a good person. She was a nice person. Why somebody would want to do this, I don't know. And then for you people to come on here and say, Oh, because she scammed people. But you can't tell me who people are. People don't have no name. Other than Karen and Levi, who are the people? Well, if people don't have no name, then don't come on my channel and say that. Don't do that. Because she's not here to defend herself. And I'm not going to let you dirty up her name with a lie. That's what I'm not going to do. So, I'm going to look into the scamming stuff because I told you that I would. And I'm going to make a video about it, or either I'm going to come live. But either way, you'll know tomorrow what you're going to get about this. But we are going to talk about this because you guys were so sure, and I thought so too at first. I really did. The way they were making this scamming thing seem like she was this big, gigantic scammer. Yeah, people were mad about their money. But it looks like there is no scamming. All these scamming people she supposedly scammed don't have no names, y'all. They don't have no name. I'm telling people, please email me. Please email me. Please tell me who you are. Because I'm about to make a video about this, and these videos are permanent. Because right now, the only people that I have that were scammed was Karen. Well, who you guys are saying was scammed was Karen and Levi, which was 3 years ago. So please, if you got something other than that, I need it because I'm doing this video tonight, or I'm gonna do the live tomorrow. So that's all I have. I just wonder. I'm wondering where dude got the $1,000 from, the £1,000 from. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering where he got, and that's all it took, £1,000 for real. He would take Shakina's whole life, do her kids like that. I don't even know if she had grandkids, but if she didn't have kids to do her future grandkids, or if she didn't have grandkids to do her future grandkids like that, where they don't even know their Mimi, they're not gonna know their Nana, they're not gonna know their KK. How could you do that? I pray your soul has no rest. I pray you have no rest in this life or in the one to come, that you never have rest, that you never rest. All right, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go for tonight, and we're going to get back together, and we're going to talk about this some more. Now we're going to talk about this land scamming stuff that they want to just keep bringing up. All right, let me make sure I got all the comments. Y'all done put a whole bunch more comments up here. Did y'all for real? Oh my God, you did. And this is why FBA is delineating, and I don't blame us. Okay. She was a beautiful, see, she has a beautiful granddaughter. And I didn't even know that. So Africa, you must know her. People call everything a scam. Yeah, they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. Was she undressed a part of the, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody told me that part. And you know how they'll keep something right. Why was she wrapped in a cloth? And see, I didn't get that part that she was wrapped in a cloth. I got that there was dirt thrown on top of her, that she was in the um, the suckaway, and that they had threw dirt on top of her. That's what I got, and that her face was bashed in. I didn't get the part about she was wrapped in a cloth. Whether she scammed or not, that is not a good enough reason. Exactly, Princess. They should have paid with insured bonds. And why would you give somebody power of attorney? Why would you do that? You see what I mean? From what I'm reading, these people gave her power of attorney. Power of attorney means, people, I can do what I want to with your money. It's just like my money. even though you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be a good steward over these people's money. But my question to you is, why would you do that? And like she said, why wouldn't you pay with insured bonds? Because you don't want to be the adult and you don't want to make wise moves because you don't know what you're doing. And then when something happens and it doesn't go the way you want it to go, then you want to say somebody scammed you. But this was 3 years ago, people. I haven't found anything new. I don't even know how this case got resolved. We didn't hear any more about it. We didn't hear any more about it. I know she sent UN a cease and desist. I knew that. I knew she charged him with defamation. I knew all of that because some of these videos I'm going to show you, you can't even see them in the UK. So, why is that? If she was such a scammer, how did she get a defamation charge? How? How? I saw the letter James showed you. Defamation. The video was removed by YouTube. Video can't be shown in the UK. So I'm confused, people. I'm confused. Does anyone want to start a community in America in the Southwest area? Email me about it, okay? And I'll put some stuff out there. And then I'll let you come on the channel and talk about it, okay? Because I might want to do that. So, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's see. And what are we going to do in the community? Yeah, email me, okay? So we can talk about it. When the new black media sees this, sees what happened to an FBA woman in the Gambia, it's game over. Well, who is the new black media so I can write them? Who are they? Because I want them to know. I want everybody and their mama to know what's going on with us in the Gambia, in West Africa in general. Because there was another lady named Danita. Please go look at those videos about Danita in Nigeria. You're not going to believe what happened to her. She was only there for 3 days. And she was gone. She was gone. Embassy had to fight to get her boys back. The uncle in the UK had to tell the police, the Nigerian police, that the woman had passed away because he didn't tell nobody. Why didn't Peter tell people that Danita had passed away? Why didn't he do that? Danita got checks. She got checks for her. She got checks for her kids. Who y'all think them checks was going to? No one should say she is scamming without proof. Thank you. People use the word scam. Yes, they don't have any proof. They can't even give me a name, honey. I've been asking for a name for 2 days since yesterday. They can't give me not one name, but they want to keep coming on my channel talking about she's scamming. 1,000, 1,800, or 1,800. I am not going. She said, I ain't going there no matter how much it costs. It cost $2,800 the last time I looked. Um, from Ruthless. Okay. Out here on a rampage. I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay, y'all. I think we got them all. Thank y'all so much for coming on here. Go Black talked about how they spoke out against and how they got what? Go Black talked about how they spoke out against and how they get their money. I don't know what for Black doesn't he talks about things he doesn't know about either. They think they're too good to do some research, so they just think they know everything, so they just talk out the side of their neck all day. You ask 10 Gambians how our Kathy is, and they're going to look at you. Yep, they are. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Like, what? Uh, Paid hitman. Yep. You think that's where he got? Well, right. Where he get the $1,000 from? The 1,000 pounds. Exactly. Where you get 1,000 pounds from? That's what we want to know. Where did it come from? Did you get it from her? Why is she walking around with 1,000 pounds on her in the Gambia? You're not doing that. You're not driving around with 1,000 pounds on you. I mean, why would you even be doing that? It doesn't make sense. If they find him with 1,000 pounds, good night, places and spaces. I'm praying for Shakina and for the rest to rest. I'm praying for Shakina to rest well along with the other deceased sisters. Yep, me too. At least they know we're trying to do something. We're trying to do. Lisa says she is 85%. Lisa, who did the test? That's going to tell a lot. Someone gave him 1,000 pounds after, see, after she was dead. He is not involved with a scapegoat thing. So, so he got this 1,000 pounds after she died. Who did he say he gave her that gave him the 1,000 pounds? Where did he get this 1,000 pounds from? That's what we want to know. Where did he get this money from? Nobody fighting for no. Nobody fighting for those women in Colombia. They're trying to survive. What women in Colombia that are trying to survive? What are you talking about? We don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand how Black Americans trust those Africans. I mean, we're talking about the descendants of the people who sold their own into slavery. They prefer the pale skins and the dark to the dark skins. Wow. Wow, I'm just blown away by that comment. I'm speechless. From what I understand, three of the women who were unalived, yeah, they had YouTube channels that were being negative. No, they weren't. That ain't true. No, see, that's not true. None of them. No. The only one who was talking about the Gambia was Anja. And she was not talking about the Gambia. She was talking about two people in the Gambia. And she did start talking about the culture in the Gambia. And she did do some things to some Gambian people that was not very nice. So Anja was the only one. Andre did not say anything about the Gambians. Well, you're right, Veronica. Veronica wasn't talking about Gambians, so she was talking about the way business was done in the Gambia with the food stuff. Yeah, so that's Gambians are very sensitive and angry about this. Well, I don't know I don't know why. That wasn't nothing to be angry about. The 1,000 pounds might be for reuse. What you mean? What's reuse? What are you talking about, eye movement? What does reuse mean? Please tell me what that means. Just keeping it real. Okay. Yeah, that's what we do on here, sweetie. We just keep it real. We just keep it real. About Colombia, see, other races will fight for their women. I don't understand what Colombian women got to. I don't know what Colombian women are going through. I'm not talking about Colombian women. We're talking about Shakina. Contact the American Embassy with this concern. Yes. Contact the American Embassy with all your concerns. It's very easy to write them a letter. Very easy. The information is all on my community page. Okay? Europeans disrupt African social norms, but nothing happens to them, and I wonder why. But how do we know nothing is happening to them? I told y'all in this one group where the lady was sending me information, she said in her group, which is nothing but Europeans, that for a minute there, they were dropping like flies. Okay? But we weren't talking about it. They don't put this information out here. They hide information too. So we can't say that unless we have facts. You can't say that that's the case when you don't know if that's the case. You think that's the case, but we don't know for sure. Blessing as well. Are you okay? Okay. I think this is it, y'all. I think these are all of them finally. Yeah, I think this might be it. Let's see what this one says. That's true. Why should Why would so-called repasts want to repack to a place that sold them? That's a good point. Okay, so it looks like y'all are just talking to each other. But like I said, we're gonna oh, a red herring. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a big red herring. Where'd you get that money from? I would be yes, I would be interested to thank you, me too. Maybe I hope they tell us. Remember the same betrayal spirit that sent us out of Africa 400 years ago remnants of that spirit of hate and removal of us still exists. Not all, but some have this in them still today. Yes, because it was their ancestors who sold us. So if they didn't like us then, why would they like us now? They look at us like that. That's their grandkids. Remember, we couldn't stand their grandfather. So how are we gonna stand their grandkids? How are we gonna do that? But you gotta remember, it ain't all of them. Do y'all know there was a whole war going on in Africa? Do y'all know ethnic groups like the Fulani were breaking in half because of that? Some of the Fulani believed in slave trading, the other Fulani did not. So do you know they went to war against each other? Families fought each other over this. So it's not like you can say all the Africans. No, it was never at no time all the Africans. It was never at one time all the Fulani. It was never at no time all the Mandinka. It was never at no time all the Wolof. The Wolof had intensive civil wars because of this. You got to understand. You can't just say the Africans don't want us there because no, all the Africans wasn't down with this. And some of the Africans do want us there because they look at us like that's my cousin who got sold away in slavery. And my great grandmother always told us that we got family in the United States because you got them families there too, who members got sold. So y'all got to understand, it was like the chain was broken. Like, okay, you go here, and the rest of y'all stay there. So some of us got, well, all of us got a whole line of family over there that we don't know nothing about. Nothing about. Those people aren't rejoicing. Those people aren't jealous. Those people want us to come back. Those are the ones who say come back. Those are the ones who say build. Those are the ones that say marry us. Those are the ones that say build amongst us. Become one of us because you are one of us. Do you know that's what I was told the whole time I was in Cameroon? You are one of us. You look like us. Everything about you says Cameroonian. We love you because you are us. So no, I don't believe that about Africans. No. Some of them, yeah, some of them can't stand us. But then it's those who love us, who welcome us back home, who hate that we got whatever was done to us because we were their family. We were their family. And their grandparents never let them forget about their cousins who were in America. That's what they tell you in Cameroon all day. We were always told about our cousins who were in America. We were always told about them. We know all about you people, but we don't know what happened to you once you got there. Tell us what happened to you once you got there. That's all they wanted to do in Cameroon was talk to me about what it was like for the Black American. Because they were told all the time about their cousin, the Black American. But they didn't know what happened to us once we got there. That's where the story stopped. So that's not true. That is far from true. That is far from true. That is far from the truth. I hope your family gets. I do too. I'm just praying. I'm just praying, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. No, they're more than that. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off of here. I think we got everybody's comment. I think everybody got to say what they wanted to say. I don't try to dictate what questions I choose to ask. We are searching exactly. We are. We are searching for evidence. None of us know what happened. We just putting it all on the table. We just throwing it all on the table, trying to put our heads together to try to figure out what happened to Shakina. That's all we're doing. That is all we are doing because we don't know. We're all looking for evidence. And we did think that the scam had the way they was putting the scam, they made it seem like it was a big deal. So we did think that. But then when the dude get caught with $1,000, where did it come from? Because if Shakina didn't have £1,000 on her, where did you get that from? Where did you get that money from? And right, we're all searching for answers. That's what we do over here. We just put our ideals together. This is a shame, but we must learn from this. And yes, establish a communities right here in America. Hey, so don't forget to write me about that, okay? That sounds like something, especially when you get older, y'all. You got to live in a community because I see so many single ladies where I live at that are older, and I feel so bad for them. They don't have anybody. And I'm like, there needs to be some type of community, you know? New Black Media, Vicky Diller. Okay, let me write that down. I need to tell her. What is she a YouTube person? All right, let me get in contact with her and see is she a YouTube person. I gotta go check her out. Considering that considering whether it was a sex crime, accidental. Are you aware of the number of that were released this what? What are y'all talking about? I don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all must have had some kind of conversation before I got on here. Understand a woman is less valued. Her life worth isn't the same as a man. They believe she got what she deserved and they have to shut her mouth. Wow. I believe that about Veronica. I sure do. I really believe that about her. Stay away from those evil Africans, Black Americans. Think about our ancestors. Okay. And think about your ancestors' love to Africa. Think about that. They were jumping off that ship. Yeah, think about that. They were jumping off the ship, drowning themselves at the thought of having to leave Africa, at the thought of never seeing their grandmother again, at the thought of never seeing their mother again, at the thought of never seeing their homeland again. Do you realize that's what they were going through? Now, do you realize that when you go back to Africa, they go back to Africa? Do you realize that? That when you touch them, they touch them. They get to see the place they were never supposed to see again. They were never supposed to come back. But guess what? When you come back, they come back. So why would you deny your ancestors that? If they place it upon your heart to go there, then you need to go. But you need to move wisely. Because once again, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for them. You're righting a wrong that was done to them. You think they cool with that? You think they cool with people telling them to get out and you ain't never coming back? They grew up there. They love that place. Whether you love it or not, they did. Whether you understand it or not, they did. And if they put it upon your heart to go back, it's not for you. It's for them. You're going back for them. So their soul can rest. So they can say, I've been home. I went home. I saw my land that I thought I'd never see again. But I went home. Through my granddaughter, I went home. So I'm going to get ready and get off of here. I'm going to call you right back. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Bye. I'm gonna get ready and get off of here. Why are you asking? Uh, no, I think he was asking because yeah, he wanted to know if what happened. Because that lets if that was the case, then that means they probably did something else to her. Other than just unalive her, and that's important. Did this person do something else to her that they don't want us to know? Because why would you just robe her? If she had nothing on, why would she not have anything on? But we don't know that. Some people say she was wrapped in a cloth. I wasn't told that. So was her clothes on underneath the cloth? Why was she wrapped in the cloth? And that makes me think it was somebody who knew her because they wanted to cover up her face. Oh, Bridget, thank you for watching. She says, thank you for informing us for always what's going on. Uh, bag lady scamming big time. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Bag lady is scamming big time. That's why she looks sick. Her and Rick. They scamming big time. They scamming their own kids. That's how much they scamming. She got all that money in a lawsuit and didn't buy them kids nothing. Didn't buy them kids nothing. She spent that money on herself and Rick. Why unclothed is an unfinished why with no clothes on in an unfinished compound? We will never know if an abuse was involved. No, we won't, because they're not going to tell us that. Only way we'll know if that information is leaked to us or if the family tells us, but they're not going to tell us that. That will put people in an uproar. Yeah, that will make us go through the roof. That will make us go through the roof. So no, we ain't never gonna know that part, y'all. You can forget it. Our movement is right. We ain't gonna never know that part. But I want to know. Like I said, I wasn't told that she didn't. She was undressed. I was told she had dirt thrown on top of her. That's what I was told. All right, y'all. Did we get all the comments? I think I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry. There's so many on here, y'all. If I didn't get your comment, I'm so sorry. I thought I did. I thought I got all of them. Wait a minute. There's a new comment from JJ. Let's read this one. I just saw a video on Kenya. There were sisters who just came out who said the country to stop unaliving the Kenya. Yeah, it's bad over there. Something going. Yes, it's Kenya is really bad. I was actually working on a story about Kenya before this happened. Yeah, I really was. And then this happened and I had to stop because they just had something called Dark Valentine's Day. And this was to bring awareness to all the females who are unalived in Kenya on the regular. All right, so we're going to continue to talk about this. Shakina, her energy is off. Whose energy is off? Shakina's energy is off? Is that what you mean? What do you mean her energy is off? Kiki, thanks again for all. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys got to watch. Okay, what you mean her energy is off? Because if you're talking about Shakina, I didn't. Who was the bag lady? Cynthia from Black Acres of the Gambia. I didn't get that off energy from Shakina. And I sat with Shakina for a minute. And I didn't get off energy. I thought because Shakina was a very good person. I got she was a nice person. I got she was a person who believed in what she was doing. I got that she was a community oriented person. I got that she was a very strong person. I got that she was going to fight for what was right. But her an off energy, I didn't pick that up about her. I picked that up about Sisters International. That their energy is way off, but not about Shakina. Yeah, South Africa. I told y'all it's all over. As you can see, this person named Kenya. She just named South Africa. Pick anywhere and go look. It's all over. The sad thing is that Black Americans think their ancestors want them to go to Africa, they should avoid attaching themselves to Africa because Hollywood fictions like Roots. Roots was not real. But if you feel drawn to Africa like I was drawn to Africa, I would advise you to go. Because I was drawn to Africa ever since I was a little girl. I knew I was going. I knew I was. Some people don't feel like that. And if they don't feel like that, they don't feel like that. But some people will feel like that and they should go. But just because you don't feel like that, you shouldn't tell other people they shouldn't go because you don't feel compelled to go. Shakina seemed shady. Really? I met someone like that who sounded so good on paper and outwardly they were thieves, stole my money. But did you ever meet Shakina? That's what I want to know. Did you ever sit down and talk to Shakina? Have you ever been in her presence? That's what I want to know. Because you could be, you just said she reminded you of somebody else. As soon as she reminds you of somebody else, your feelings are going to come from that old feeling that you had about that other person, and you're going to project those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts on Shakina. I just saw. Okay. All right. Good. So that was it, y'all. Okay. I think that's all. Okay. She said the end. We saw that one. Okay. What's this one saying? Okay. She says, I mean, her energy is off. She's okay. I mean, her energy is off. She seems shady, outward talk, Rana, nothing, dear, many deceivers, something. That description I have met, money, who talk a good one, many who talk a good one. Yeah, but I met her and I don't think she was just talking a good one. Okay, y'all. Okay. I actually had a conversation with Shakina in 2020 before I left for Africa. She seemed very together and offered her home for me to stay until I got on my feet. See, that's the kind of person she was. That was really sweet. You could stay in my home until you get on your feet. I can help you out. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Thank you for that, Nurse Reddy. Thank you for that. Some of us can read very well. Yeah, I think I can read very well. Oh, oh, but yeah, ma'am. Now, if you say you're a reader, you should know that, yeah, you can get people's energy like through the pictures, through a social media, like how you can pick up my energy now. But if you're in my presence, oh, you know, you said you can read people, you should know. That's the ultimate form of reading someone's energy, is in their presence. Yeah. So you do need to sit with them if you really want to get the up and up. You can get some. I'm not saying you can't pick up stuff through the internet or through pictures. But to get the real deal, the 100% what the person is, you got to sit with that person. You got to touch that person. You got to exchange their energy. You got to shake hands with them. You got to hug them. You said you read energy. I'm sure you would agree. Dear, even narcissists can be very charming and kind. We're not talking about charming and kind, ma'am. We're talking about energy. Energy. Her energy gives off the vibe of I'm a kind person. And energy don't lie. I'm a kind person. I'm a helpful person. I'm a community oriented person. We're talking about energy, not what I think or what I feel. You said energy, and I went with that. So, no, we can't go back to charming and kind. We're talking about energy. She is charming and kind, but that's not her energy. All right. So she's asking Wayne, is he live in Africa? She says she's curious. I only asked because you seem to be very informative on the topic. All right, so y'all, that's all I got. That's all I got. I'm about to get off of here. I'm gonna go work on this video and I'm gonna rest because believe it or not, this is extremely draining. It really is. And I've been on here for 2 days in a row. I'm really tired. All right, y'all. So look, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for talking about Shakina. Thank you for sharing your thoughts about what happened. Thank you for sharing if you feel like this is the right guy, that if this is the right person, if this person really did it. Thank you for sharing all of that. All right. Thank you for sharing what you know about this situation. Thank you for sharing your experiences with Shakina. Thank you for just sharing. Thank you for sharing. All right. So look, what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to go ahead and make sure you write those letters to the embassy. I need you to go ahead and write those letters to the U.S. and the British embassy. All right. Don't forget about the 5 women who've passed away in the Gambia, the American women, and then the one UK British lady, which was Shakina. Write her embassy about her. All right, y'all. That's all I have. Good night to everybody. Thank you so much. Okay, good. And don't forget the person. Was that you, Nurse Ready? About the community in the Southwest or Southeast, wherever you said. Don't forget to write me about that, okay? And think about coming on here so you can talk to us about that because I like that idea. Thank you, Kiki. Y'all, the petition. Oh God, I forgot. Please, y'all. Please sign the petition. Okay, these people in the Gambia, they're not trying to sign the petition, which I don't know why. They feel like because I created the petition, that the petition is for me. So they're not signing the petition. Okay. But I really need you guys to sign this petition. We can't really present this petition to anybody if it doesn't have signatures on it. Because right now it's saying we don't care about these women who passed away in the Gambia. We don't care. Now, if you care, please, all you got to do is just sign the petition and we'll do the rest. Uh, Ton Fraud talks about Shakina being a fraud. His energy is correct. Okay. Okay, but I'm going to talk about UN's videos. Okay. We're going to talk about UN's videos. Do you know where UN got his information from? Do you know how he got those stories? You do know people gave him that information, right? And you do know Quasi came on here and just told you that she was beefing this woman. There was somebody in the Gambia who couldn't stand her, who was feeding UN information, and UN came out against that person, that very person, and said that she was the one who was giving him all the information. So I'm not saying UN's energy isn't correct. What I'm saying is the person he got the energy from, the information from, was her energy correct? Was that person's energy correct? Because he doesn't know. He got this information from somebody. So was that person's information, was her energy correct? Was their energy correct? But it looks like it wasn't because in the end, UN told on her. And he said this woman was talking horrible things about Black Americans. And Shakina was not even a Black American. So I would be careful with that. Yeah, I know who you meant. I know exactly who you meant. We're going to talk about him and his videos. Yes, we can read energy. We don't do believing everything. We don't do, I don't know what you mean about believing everything. We know. Okay. All I know is Shakina was not who she says. But how do you know? How do you know? If you say you know, then you should say how I know. Here, this is how I know. Receipt. You've given me nothing. Email me the receipts. If you don't wanna, If you don't want to put the receipts on here, if you don't tell me the receipts on here, then email me the receipts. Because what you think and what you feel is not a receipt. That's your opinion. And we're all entitled to that. So before you come on here and say this woman was a terrible person, her energy was off and this, that, and the third, and she was a scammer and a liar and blah, 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 where's your proof? Unapologetic Negro Pen's video? Is that what you're going by? Do you know if the situation ever got solved? Because I wrote Karen, she posted her information under my name, like she wanted me to know. She replied to a comment I made. So I wrote Karen to get information, but Karen is not responding. Karen was supposed to get her money back. She was in the process of getting her money back. So if you know something that we don't know, we're asking that you please tell us and quit playing these cat and mouse games. Because frankly, ma'am, we don't care about what you think and what you feel. Do you have some facts that Shakina was scamming other than UN's video? Because that's talking about Karen and Levi. And we already know about Karen and Levi. So do you know somebody else? Because if you don't know nobody else, then you need to quit saying that. All right? Please, tell us what you know. Give us facts. Give me facts. Email me. Tell me. I am reading your energy. Night, Kiki. Exactly. That's what I'm about to do, honey. Get off here and go lay down. In some circles, these tragedies are called the curse of Black It. Okay. I don't know what that is. We read energy. Your energy is, oh, I know. I know. Of course. I knew that was coming. Y'all should have known my energy was going to be off after she done sat on here for 3 hours and 25 minutes. Why would you do that? If you read energy, I can't sit around people who have bad energy. And I sure can't listen to them talk because their words will go through your ear and go through your brain and go through your spirit. So if you say you know my energy is off, why would you, this spirit reading warrior, why would you sit on here and listen to somebody with an off spirit for 3 hours and 26 minutes? Why would you let me infiltrate your brain and infiltrate your system like that? Why? You do know that, don't you? You do know that's what words do, right? You should never let anybody with bad energy. You should never listen to anybody with bad energy because their spirit is entering into you. Now, you says, why are you defending this so hard? What are you getting out of this? Because I won't let you come on here and just spew nonsense because my channel is based on facts. I'm defending it hard. You say the lady's energy's off, but you've never been in her presence. You never been around her. You never talked to her. You're just going by what you heard. And then you come on here and say she's a scammer. But when I say, can you give me facts? What do you tell me? My energy is off. When I ask you for facts, both situations, because you know well as I do that you can read a little bit on this online stuff, but you can really read when you're in a person's presence, when you're touching them and feeling them. So please, I don't like nonsense. YouTube money, see, I thought you was a reader. You're letting me down. You're letting me down. Because if you were a reader, you wouldn't even have to ask me that question. You would know about the YouTube money. Okay? You're not a reader. You're just a wannabe witch like everybody else. Now go someplace and be a wannabe witch, okay? You just a wannabe witch like all these other people. Kiki, one love. Don't let these people get you upset. They are judging without proof. Honey, yes, I cannot stand that. I don't like ignorance. It sounds like you are defending something because it will hurt. It will hurt. What? Listen to y'all. Listen to this. What's gonna hurt my pockets, y'all? What's gonna hurt my pockets? She think YouTube lines my pockets, y'all. This lady is fool. I thought you were a reader, ma'am. You're making yourself look foolish because people are laughing at you right about now. Because now they know, oh, she don't know nothing about Kiki. She can't possibly know. Talking about this is gonna hurt my pockets. What? What? People not going to Africa is gonna hurt my pockets? How? They don't pay me to go to Africa? Oh, you think I get paid from YouTube, huh? You think I get lots of money from YouTube, huh? You're one of those people. Okay, keep thinking that. You think, oh, she got all those views. YouTube paying her lots and lots of money. Okay, keep thinking that. I received that. That's what my mother would say. She would say, I received that. They have no issues unaliving vocally empowered women. Black Americans need to get aware they are trying to send a message by unaliving our women, period. This scam energy lie mess is a distraction. Yes, you're right. You're right. And I'm not going to waste no more time or give her no more energy because that's what she wants, to exchange energy with me because she wants my energy. That's what energy vampires do. Okay. You're completely detached, but you've been on here for 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. Well, what's the Powerball? Exactly. Tell us the Powerball, spiritual lady. If you can read so well, give us a break. Right. What's the power? Where did he get the $1,000 from? Read his spirit and tell us, since you know so much. Oh God. Oh, so that's even shows you've been on here for 10 minutes, and you think you know everything. That shows how ignorant you are, and you are the narcissist. Because only a narcissist would come on a show that's been on here for 3 hours and 35 minutes talking about that they can read people. Nobody would do that. They would sit back and listen to the conversation. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's even worse. That's even worse that you've been on here for 10 minutes and commenting like you know. That means you know nothing. You know nothing. You are the narcissist, ma'am. And it's clear. Maybe that's why Africans migrated before Columbus, to get away from witchcraft. I don't know. No, actually, the king sent them here and told them to explore. Africans always explored other places. Right. Say goodbye to the antagonistic troll. It's one of your fans. Bag, Tay Tay, Global Green Book, Sisters International, etc. Exactly. One of them. Join the club, honey. We're supposed to believe she was a good person because, no, no. I didn't say believe she was a good person because of me. Man, we're asking you for facts. I told you what she did. What she did for her community that made her a good person. Remember that? How she works with people to help get their land back? Who's been land scammed? Remember I told you that? That's what makes her a good person, ma'am. Ha ha, girl, stop. You know we are not supposed to believe everyone. Preach that. And I do. But that's what happens when you come on a show and you've been on here 10 minutes and you think you know everything. And you know nothing. It's showing that you know nothing. Miss Kiki, they want to distract you with this bad energy mess. Ignore them. You are pulling up important, deep, important info on a vital concern. They want to derail it. Yeah, they do. Was this it, y'all? Uh, what does this say? Genuine is a big goat. She thinks she's a spiritual person. You're trying to cover up real reasons these people. Listen, y'all. I'm trying to cover it up while these people are being unalive. They had, and how many times did I say that Anja had a mental breakdown and so did our Kathy? Lady, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just so ignorant. You're just proving all your ignorance. Next time, don't go on somebody's channel and just start talking. You look foolish. Genuine, maybe you should. Genuine, maybe you should get a job like the rest of us. Then you'll be like Kiki. Go and rest. Yes, maybe so. Then you wouldn't just hop on people's platforms thinking you know everything and you could just jump in a conversation. Lady, this is what I do. This is what YouTube pays me for. You forgot? You forgot? YouTube pay. They said, Kiki, will you run this show? We will pay you to run this platform. This is what I do, ma'am. This is actually my job. I actually have to even file a tax return for this. This is a real job. So I get paid to do this, ma'am. I host the show. Sometimes I got to work overtime, like 3 hours over. Okay. Sometimes it just be like that. You look dumb. You are thinking I was on here 3.5 hours to listen to your cover up nonsense. Because nobody would comment for 10 minutes, ma'am. That's if I'm dumb, what are you? To just come to a show and comment and you know nothing about what we're talking about. You know nothing about the host. You know nothing about the subject, but you want to spew facts. And when I ask you, let's keep it real, you're mad because I asked you for facts. I asked you, can you prove what you're saying? And you couldn't. And now you're mad because this is your opinion and you're mad because we won't take your wannabe witch opinion as facts. I'm sorry, it don't work like that on Kiki Love Nigeria. We don't do that. Okay? So basically, these are African American expats steering our own people. Yeah, in the wrong direction. A purpose, yes. On purpose, yes. They're doing it on purpose. They're working with the locals to. I don't think the locals are involved. I've seen that happen in Tanzania. I don't think the locals are involved so much as the expats are involved. I think the locals may get involved when they're involved with one of us who are doing it, and then they kind of get involved. But no, this is strictly us doing this to each other. You have no facts. You can't prove anything. Okay. See, that's how I know you don't know, because lady, I have receipts for days. She does. She sounds. Yeah, that might be Tay Tay. Yeah, that might be Tay Tay because she sounds real dumb. That's got to be Tay Tay. Real dumb. Yep, this got to be her. Bye. Oh, bye. Love some of your context. Just don't agree with some of your nonsense. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for stopping by. See you next time. Uh, Grand Rising, peace and blessings. Hello. How you doing? All right, y'all. We're done. That was it. Kiki, they look like wolves, and they do. They are. All right, y'all. That's all I got. I'm tired. Woo, that was a lot. But we did it. We talked about what's going on. We gave an update. All right. So now we're gonna write our letters, and then I'm gonna come on here and smack these people with these scamming allegations. All right. I can't wait to do that. Now they done got me heated up about some 3-year allegations. You ain't got nothing new. You ain't got nothing better than that. Give me something better than that. Give me something. Because I'm about to body slam y'all with this. All right? I'm about to slam y'all all over the room with this. Facts for days. Facts for days. Y'all keep throwing up this 3-year-old case. Give me something else. You ain't got nothing else. So quit saying she was a scammer. Because you want to dirty up her name. What for? I don't know. But I'm not going to let you do that. No, I'm not. This person has a crush on you and it's getting off. I think so too, Lisa. Yeah, I think so too. Oh God, look, y'all, she back. I thought she was gone. She just like Sisters International. They keep on telling me bye. Thanks, dear. I love you too. Please don't be. I'm not mad. Genuine. I'm not mad. For real. I'm not mad at you. You can come back anytime you want to. Anytime you want to, and you can say anything you want to. Okay? I'm not mad at you at all. All right? Thank you for coming back. I just want you to be safe. Okay, sweetie. Thank you. And I want to be safe too. And so we want the same thing. We on the same page. We working together. We a team. All right, sweetie. But feel free to come over anytime. All right. Whew. All right, wonderful. All right, everybody out there. I am gone for real this time. I love y'all. See y'all later.